Chapter 477. At the Grand Master Banquet. It was now divided into two parts, the inside and the outside. The Grand Masters and some representatives from other forces were in the inside. That was their place. Most people did not participate. The outside consisted of elite students from various schools and normal guests from other worlds. Fang Yuan was sizing Chun Yunxi up curiously. After a while, she asked, "Sister Yunxi, did you give me that crystal doll for Chinese New Year?" Chun Yunxi smiled and nodded. She whispered, "Fang Ping said you like it a lot. Is that true?" "Yes, I really like it." Fang Yuan's eyes narrowed as she smiled. She said slyly, "Sister Yunxi, do you want to be my sister-in-law?" Chun Yunxi blushed slightly. She said nothing. Fang Yuan giggled. "Then you have to please me. My brother listens to me. If you want to bribe me, I'll put in a good word for you." "Bribe? What do you like?" "Sister Yunxi, can you give me a few more of those crystal dolls?" "Sure. I want lots and lots of good food. Can you buy them for me?" "Yes, no problem." "Then, your bank card. Can I keep it for you?" "Huh." The two of them chatted enthusiastically. Fang Ping, who had just arrived, heard Fang Yuan's last sentence. His face darkened. He walked over and pinched her face, glaring at her without saying a word. Fang Yuan looked aggrieved. She begged, "Brother, I was just joking with Sister Yunxi. There are so many people here. Stop pinching me." What a shame. With so many people around, she had lost all her face. Fang Ping pinched her face for a while more before letting go. He looked at Chun Yunxi and said, "Ignore her. She's always messing around." Fang Yuan looked helpless. "I'm not messing around. Isn't it good that I'm managing your finances for you?" Chun Yunxi giggled. She nodded slightly but said nothing. Fang Ping ignored Fang Yuan. He looked around and walked away. Fang Yuan was about to follow when Fang Ping turned around and said, "Play by yourself. Don't follow me." Fang Yuan pouted. She was a little disappointed. She had wanted to go with her brother and see if she could get some grandmasters' autographs. She did not plan to sell it this time. It had been a long time since she did something like that. The most important thing was her face. Grandmasters were the biggest stars in the world. There were so many grandmasters here today. If every single one of them were to give her an autograph, just the thought of it made Fang Yuan excited. Fang Ping ignored her. Fang Yuan suddenly looked at Chun Yunxi and whispered, "Sister Yunxi, can you take me there to get the grandmaster's autograph?" Chun Yunxi asked curiously, "You want an autograph?" "Yeah, I have a personal collection room. There are already many autographs and photos in there, but the best one is my brother. There are so many grandmasters today. Sister Yunxi, is that okay?" Chun Yunxi looked toward the inner circle. When she saw her grandfather, she quickly nodded and said, "I don't know if I can get the others, but I can get a few." "Really? It's true. Sister Yunxi is the best. Once you get your autograph, you'll be my sister-in-law." Fang Yuan sold Fang Ping out without any pressure. Her brother was a bachelor anyway. Sister Yunxi was pretty and good at coaxing people. How nice would that be? Chun Yunxi's eyes narrowed into a smile. Fang Ping's sister had been easily bought over. If he had known it would be so simple, he would have gone to meet him earlier. Fang Ping did not pay much attention to what Chun Yunxi and Fang Yuan were doing. At this moment, Fang Ping did not go to the inner circle either. Instead, he went to the outer circle where the elite students gathered. There were many people here, and everyone had their own circles. The 98 martial arts universities and the 3 big martial arts schools had sent representatives. They had brought 1 or 2 elite students from their schools. On MCMAU's side, some elite students were also there to accompany the guests. When they saw Fong Ping, many people greeted him. Li Hansong was in high spirits. When he saw Fong Ping, he chuckled and said, "I thought you were going over there. Why are you here?" Fong Ping heard that and laughed. "That place is full of old men and old women. We don't have a common language. Why would we go there? If we juniors go there, we'll be tied down." As he said that, Fong Ping glanced at Chun Haoren beside him. Was there something wrong with this guy? He saw Chun Haoren and Qin Fengqing with their arms around each other's shoulders, chatting happily. Chun Haoren's eyes were still a little purple. Was he addicted to getting beaten up? Ignoring the two of them, Fong Ping greeted the others. Many of them were familiar faces. He had met them at the championship before. After a while, Fong Ping smiled. "Since everyone is here today, I have a small suggestion. How about you guys consider it?" "What suggestion?" "Let's hear it. You, Fong Ping, are the #1 martial arts university student now. We naturally have to consider what you say." Everyone laughed for a while. Fong Ping coughed softly and said, "It's like this. MCMAU, CCMAU, and NMAU have launched an e-commerce platform. Does everyone know about it?" "I've heard about it." Many people nodded. Fong Ping smiled. With the progress of society and technological development, martial arts exchanges have become easier and more relaxed. The purpose of the e-commerce platform's existence isn't to make everyone travel less. That's meaningless. Everyone still doesn't understand the true meaning of the e-commerce platform. You might not know this, but because of the e-commerce platform's launch, the few of us have been growing very quickly recently. Everyone is in different positions, suppressed different catacombs, and obtained different treasures. There are some things that you can't use, but it doesn't mean we can't. There are some specialties that we have, but it doesn't mean you have them too. For example, MCMAU's bodybuilding pill. I think many of the schools here don't have it, right? Someone nodded. That's right. The bodybuilding pill requires the blood of high-ranked monsters. Among the pills that the pill company distributed to our schools, there isn't a bodybuilding pill. Even if there is, it's very little. Even the instructors don't have enough. Yes, the big companies gave us basic pills such as vitality pills, bone honing pills, and viscera shielding pills. These pills are enough for martial artists in the 3 lower ranks. However, for us, for instructors, and for some students with ambitions, it's far from enough. Resources must be used rationally and maximized. This is the embodiment of martial arts progress together. Beside him, Wang Jinyong smiled, faintly. "If you have something to say, just say it." Fong Ping smiled. Everyone here is a student representative from each school. The older generation may not understand, or perhaps they don't care about these changes. We're all young people, and we can't stick to the rules. My suggestion is to go online on all the university's e-commerce platforms. Everyone can exchange what they need. Beside him, Zhou Qiue was not interested. She said casually, "We're not MCMAU. Our resources are limited, and many of the pills and weapons come from the 2 big companies. What's the point of exchanging what they need?" Fong Ping was about to speak when Qin Fengqing scolded, "Long hair, short brains. What do women know?" Zhou Qiue was furious. She was not the only one. Even Fong Ping was speechless. Are you here to help or cause trouble? Zhou Qiue was not the only female martial artist here. Ignoring Qin Fengqing, Fong Ping smiled. "Everyone, let me finish." Having said that, Fong Ping said softly, "Up until now, haven't you all felt it? I'll give you the simplest example. In MCMAU, a normal vitality pill costs 3 credits. In SCMAU, it might be 4 credits. In NMAU, it's 5 credits. The value of credits is equivalent, but a school like MCMAU can get the most benefits with the least cost. What about you guys? You can't do this, can you? Don't you feel indignant? Don't you want to change? We're all human and we put in the same effort. Why is it harder for you to get resources than the elite schools? Normal martial arts universities don't have many resources and progress is slow. Now, it's getting slower and slower. Don't you all think about changing all this? Now, the opportunity is here. As soon as he said that, many people frowned. Even Li Hansong could not help but say, Fong Ping, the difficulty of getting resources can't be changed by an e-commerce platform. Fong Ping smiled. You're right. I know. Let me finish. Fong Ping continued. This time, the first thing we need to do when the platform goes online is to unify. Unify? Yes, unify credits. Fong Ping nodded and said, before this, every school had their own standards. You used your credits, I used my GPA, and the value was uneven. 1 credit for you was worth 10,000, and 1 credit for me was worth 50,000. This was actually disadvantageous to the exchange of martial arts resources. Why does a country unify its currency? It's a problem of circulation. Why did the schools use credits instead of cash, instead of replacing them with credits? On one hand, it's to let the students rely on themselves more. On the other hand, it's just martial artists. When they reach a certain level, the demand is too high. If they use money, it's not appropriate. It's easy to cause economic collapse. That's why martial arts universities use credits instead of cash, Fong Ping said, and continued. This time, I want to unite everyone to go back and work hard to make some changes. First, unify the credits and GPA of each school. Unify the value, unify the name. This was not a difficult thing to do. It was just a matter of habit. As Fong Ping said that, he took out a small notebook and said, this is a simple unified standard that I've come up with. 1 credit is equivalent to 10,000 in cash. Students can use credits to exchange for cash, and they can also use cash to exchange credits. Both are 10,000 to 1. Seeing that everyone had something to say, Fong Ping said immediately, there's a limit to using cash to exchange credits. It's not unlimited. For example, for rank 3 martial artists, the annual limit is 500 or 1,000 credits. This way, we don't have to worry too much about those rich people exchanging credits for cheap resources from the school. Yao Chungjun frowned slightly. What's the point of unifying? Fong Ping chuckled. Listen to me. The unification of credits between schools is just the beginning. Next, unifying the pricing. Wang Jinyang's eyes moved. What you mean is that if MCMAU uses 3 credits to exchange for a normal vitality pill, you won't discriminate on the e-commerce platform, but will use the same 3 credits. As soon as he said that, everyone else was shocked. How was that possible? The difference between normal martial arts universities and famous schools lay in the difficulty of obtaining resources. If they were all 3 credits, it meant that the credits they used to buy a pill could be exchanged for 2 pills. Who would make up for the difference? This was not a small number, but an astronomical figure. Perhaps the difference caused every year could be as high as hundreds of billions. Who would pay for this? McMao. That was obviously impossible. At this moment, everyone's gaze was focused on them. Beside them, Qin Fengqing pursed his lips. He had seen it yesterday. He had said that Fong Ping was not doing well and that this was completely meaningless. Where would MCMAU find the money to pay for it? Moreover, even if they had the money, there was no need to let the other schools benefit, right? The president of Beijing Martial Arts University's Martial Arts Society said hurriedly, Fong Ping, you're not talking about unifying the pricing according to our school standards, are you? If that's the case, then there's not much meaning to it. Or maybe we can compromise and follow the standards of the other famous schools. Someone asked tentatively, If they followed the standards of the other famous schools, they would have earned a lot. Fong Ping grinned. No, we'll follow MCMAU and CCMAU standards. 3 credits for a normal vitality pill. Then everyone will get 3 credits. Wang Jinyang's expression was solemn. Fong Ping, this is not a joke. If that's the case, then the demand from the other schools will increase greatly. Even if we distribute our own pills and weapons, it will still not be enough. There will be a huge deficit. Will MCMAU make up for this deficit? Fong Ping shook his head. Of course not. The government will pay for it. Fong Ping, there's no point in saying this. Some people were dissatisfied. If the government really wanted to do this, they would have done it long ago. It would not be Fong Ping's turn to fool everyone. Fong Ping grinned. Don't doubt me, everyone. The government is actually preparing to do this. It's just that it's still in the middle of negotiations. From the previous enrollment expansion, it can be seen that some resources must be reduced, and the supply to each school will be increased. The reason why I'm proposing unifying the pricing and the online platform is to push the government to complete this decision as soon as possible. If we don't work hard ourselves and completely rely on the government to push it, how long will it take? If we work hard ourselves and get things done, then it'll be easy for the government to kick the can down the road. If we work hard ourselves and get things done, it might be done in 3 months or even a month. Martial arts must fight. This is a saying that we martial artists all know, but now, has everyone thought of taking the initiative to fight for it, Muddle through. Our predecessors did so, and so do I. This is what many people think. However, the predecessors are the predecessors, and the past is the past. The situation is different now. Everyone here is the elite of martial arts universities. Have you not noticed the deterioration of the situation? Even if many of you are about to graduate, just because you are about to graduate, do you feel that there is no need to fight for the benefits of martial arts universities? Martial arts universities do not only represent martial arts universities. This is a platform that openly recruits students from all walks of life. It is not a sect, a clan, or a completely militarized military department. We represent the entire society, the entire population. If we push for all of this, then some things will be much easier to handle. Now, we need to let the government see our attitude. Honestly, for martial arts universities like MCMAU and CCMAU, pushing for all of this is meaningless. We are already enjoying these benefits. We are the beneficiaries of these benefits. Logically speaking, I would rather you guys not do it and continue to let us enjoy these benefits. However, martial arts universities are one, and everyone is a student. We stand at the top of the student body, so we have to consider the benefits of all martial arts university students. SNMAU Lu Shiji had been silent until now. He said, if we unify the pricing and the online platform is unable to be pushed for by the government, then the platform will still be a decoration. Fong Ping laughed. This requires us to try and work hard. In the later stages, my idea is to let the few major companies become the biggest suppliers and let them participate personally. Every year, they don't have to allocate pills and weapons to each school, but will be given a quota of credits. This way, we can save a lot of trouble, and it will be more open and transparent. The purpose of the platform is actually a channel for display. Other than that, I have a little immature idea. Fong Ping laughed. Nowadays, everyone's gains in the catacombs are directly purchased by the few major companies. My idea is to set up individual exclusive areas on the platform in the future. Now, do you see the normal e-commerce platforms? When there is competition, there is pressure. When we have gains in the catacombs, we will no longer specifically sell them to the few major companies, but conduct private transactions through the platform. Or we can conduct transactions with some enterprises. Then the situation will be completely different. We can use resources that we do not need to exchange for things that we do need. Many people actually have some things that they do not need in their hands, but they do not want to sell them. Why? Because of money and credits. Sometimes they may not be able to buy what they want in their own school. However, with the existence of the platform, everyone can even conduct barter. To put it in a more exaggerated way, everyone can even conduct divine weapon to divine weapon exchange. Or they can use large amounts of energy stones to exchange for some life essence. Exchanging energy stones for energy fruits. These are very normal operations. Why don't these transactions happen now? Because our circle is still too limited. It is limited to one place, one school, and one catacomb. Fang Ping exhaled and continued, "In the past, we did not have this condition. It was difficult for the government to promote it even if they wanted to. But now we have this condition. Why don't we do it? Don't rely on the government for everything. All the departments are very busy defending against the catacombs' attack. For this small matter, I think it is more suitable for us to do it ourselves. Everyone has seen the e-commerce platforms in society. It is because there are people who try that people will change their current habits. If everyone does not try, then would e-commerce still exist today? In the past, martial arts resources were scarce. But now, the number of catacombs has reached 23. Are resources really that scarce? It is you who save it. I who save it don't take it out. Save it for retirement. When something that everyone needs appears on the platform, these resources will naturally be taken out and circulated. When that time comes, everything can be put to good use. Everyone fell silent for a moment. After a long time, someone asked, "Then who will be in charge of operating the platform?" Fang Ping was speechless. He smiled and said, "The current operator will be in charge first. In the future, we may hand it over to the government. Of course, the government is the most suitable for this kind of thing. Moreover, the platform is only a channel. It does not mean that the platform controls the resources. Do you understand what I mean?" Someone said lightly, "That is hard to say. If something good appears, the operator of the platform will naturally find out immediately. They may even directly detain it and not let others exchange it. This is very normal, right?" Fang Ping raised his eyebrows and said, "You are not even full yet. Isn't it too early to think about this? Of course, if everyone is really worried, then we can operate it together. This is what I mean. Each school will contribute 3 to 500 million and take 1% of the shares. Then, the platform will be entrusted to one party to operate. Each school will supervise it, or the government will supervise it directly. Is that okay?" To a martial arts university, 3 to 500 million was actually not much. Fang Ping had also said that it was just what he meant. However, someone still questioned, "Then why not each school just contribute a few million?" Fang Ping almost cursed. He put on a fake smile and said, "That won't do. Each school will contribute 3 to 500 million. The total is actually used as a deposit. No one will take this money for themselves. It is mainly to prevent future troubles, compensation, or actual losses. After that, we will use this money to make up for it. Moreover, without this amount of money, it will be difficult for the schools to be at ease. We can find a third party to notarize it. We can even directly deposit the money into the account provided by the government for future needs. 3 to 500 million in exchange for the same treatment as the famous schools. If you are still conflicted about this, then just forget it. There is no point in continuing this discussion. Everyone, please touch your conscience. Is there a need for MCMAU to promote this on purpose? Some people may think that I, Fong Ping, have reaped benefits from this, but think about it. Is it really that great of a benefit? If it's great, I can let my company be in charge of express delivery and earn some hard work. This is probably the biggest benefit I can earn, right? Beside him, Qin Fengqing looked at him suspiciously. It seemed like there was not much benefit. Even the shares of the platform had to be distributed to the schools. At most, Fong Ping could get a little more, but what was the point of this? Fong Ping continued. Or this way, for example, we can set the price of the platform at 100 billion and divide it into 1,000 shares, 100 million for one share. Each school will subscribe to a portion. As I said, the subscription money will be mainly used for the platform's operations or other expenses. No one will take this money. However, as the one who proposed and advocated this, I will take 100 or 200 shares and not pay. This is just a gesture. What does everyone think? Fong Ping saw that they did not speak and said, the platform itself is worthless. We also have to sign an agreement in advance that we are not allowed to buy or sell shares. This way, the number of shares is meaningless. It is just a name. If we really let everyone take more, you will not have the right to convince the public. Fong Ping spoke until his mouth was dry. If not for the fact that he could not go to the catacombs in the near future, he would not even bother to talk to them. His wealth was almost 100 billion. Otherwise, he would not be bothered to play with these guys. Someone muttered, "Is there a need to set the price at 100 billion? Fong Ping said with a straight face, "I've said it before. This is to show how much we value the platform. It's also to urge the government to quickly implement the policy. The more deposits we provide, the more the government can feel our urgency and sincerity. And this money will ultimately be used for the students of the schools, not embezzled by anyone." Someone else said, "Then if the promotion can't be completed in the end, and the prices of pills and weapons are not lowered, the platform's existence is meaningless. What should we do with this money?" Fong Ping said lightly, "Then return it to the schools. Does anyone have any objections? Spending a little money in exchange for cheap access to resources in the future. I think everyone should not have any hesitation at all." Everyone discussed in low voices. After a while, someone said, "We still have to consult the school leaders on this matter." Fong Ping smiled and said, "Everyone can go and consult now. While the people from the government and a few departments are here, we can also test the waters." The reason why I did not tell them directly is that we are all young people and everyone is more open-minded. An individual's power is limited, but everyone's power is limitless. We do not represent ourselves, but more than 100,000 martial arts university students, and even the entire society's ordinary people who aspire to martial arts universities. If you want to obtain something, if you do not fight for it yourself, are you expecting a pie to fall from the sky? I believe that everyone here will not be so selfish and only care about themselves. If that is the case, the education of martial arts universities will be a failure. Wang Jinyang chuckled. "Since you've already put the big hat on us, then we naturally have to fight for it. Oh well, since all the school leaders are here today, maybe we can quickly come to a conclusion." Chapter 478, Inner Area. As Fong Ping and the others entered one after another, they attracted the attention of many people. Soon, students from each school reported the news to their school leaders. With so many people talking, it could not be hidden from the Grandmaster powerhouses. Middle-ranked martial artists could hear most of it, let alone Grandmasters. After listening, the scene suddenly fell silent for a moment. Wu Quishan glanced at Fong Ping. Why did this kid advocate for this? To put it bluntly, it was indeed an arduous and thankless task. However, if it was really done, he could increase his reputation. If MCMAU's initiative could really be pushed to completion, it would also be a good thing. MCMAU's position as the #1 elite school would be further confirmed. Other than CCMAU, the other 97 martial arts universities would almost all benefit. For this kind of thing, they had to consider their relationship more or less. Thinking of this, Wu Quishan suddenly smiled and said, "Minister Zhou, Minister Wang, you are all the heads of the core departments. Regarding the reduction of martial arts resources, has the government made a decision so far?" As soon as this question was asked, everyone looked at the Grand Masters of the government agencies. The Grand Masters looked at each other. After a while, a rank 7 martial artist smiled and said, "We have been talking about this recently, but it has not been officially confirmed yet. Because the impact is very big, we still have to consider whether it will lead to some unexpected factors. However, martial arts universities may become the first pilot unit." Wu Quishan smiled and said, "If that's the case, if the e-commerce platform goes online, the unified pricing system has a high probability of being realized in the end." "You can say that." Minister Zhou nodded, but he still frowned slightly and said, "It's best to let the government promote this matter. After all, some things can't be guaranteed, especially now. The early stage may not be approved quickly." Wu Quishan smiled and said, "Martial arts universities also have to put in some effort to fight for it. What do you think, Minister Wang?" Minister Wang chuckled lightly and said, "Fighting for it is not a problem, but MCMAU is so proactive. Vice Chancellor Wu, for MCMAU, this is not very beneficial, is it?" Wu Quishan smiled and said, "It's just fighting for the interests of martial arts universities. At our level, we don't need to be limited to one place anymore. Young people can see the long term. There's no reason for us to be left behind." Minister Wang said no more. Instead, it was the vice president of the pill company who frowned slightly and said, "There's not much meaning in making such a platform. Moreover, private trading of martial arts resources is also extremely inappropriate. Indeed, it is inappropriate. Since there is a shortage of resources, we naturally have to focus on supplying them." Wu Quishan interrupted. "It's just a personal transaction, not a large-scale transaction. Before the emergence of enterprises that could openly sell elixirs and weapons, increasing private transactions was still beneficial to the reasonable use of martial arts resources. Actually, before this, some of us would also make some private deals. We've all done this before. Everyone had done bartering before. The platform's role was to act as a transfer station or as a valuation agency. President Zhao, do you think that such a deal will affect the operations of the major companies?" "I don't think so. Nowadays, many of us have things that we can't use, but they're not easy to deal with. We can't bear to sell them, but it would be a waste if we don't sell them. We don't know what good things the others have, so we can't exchange them for specific things. Now that we have this platform, isn't it good? This isn't just a trading platform for martial arts universities. I think it can be opened to all middle and high-ranked martial artists. Of course, I'm talking about the private trading section." Beside him, Fang Ping quickly said, "The platform can also act as a security agency. If one party commits fraud, the platform will pursue the responsibility and compensate the party's interests. This way, everyone can trade with peace of mind." Actually, since the emergence of social e-commerce, I've always had this idea. In terms of martial arts, we also need a unique platform like this. Seeing that the CEOs of the major companies were still frowning, Fang Ping immediately said, "Saying it's a martial arts university platform doesn't mean to exclude everyone. We actually hope that the government and the major companies can enter and supervise it together, building the largest martial arts resource exchange platform in the country, even the world." This includes exchanging, and communicating with some foreign resources. In the past, everyone went through the government level, through the higher-ups. Now, we can participate through individuals, making the resources flow more smoothly. The vice president of the pill company frowned. This way, those evil sect martial artists can easily take advantage of the loopholes. Fang Ping laughed. You can't say that. Without the existence of the platform, they can't buy elixirs and weapons. If that was really the case, the evil sects would have been destroyed a long time ago. The evil sects' offline transactions are harder to supervise. It's different online. Those who have done transactions in this area should understand that as long as it's online, there will be traces left. As long as the real name authentication system is online, it can completely stop the evil sect's access to resources. Through data monitoring, if a registered rank 5 martial artist exchanged for 100 times more cultivation resources than a rank 5 martial artist, then there's a problem. We can follow the clues and quickly find out where the problem lies. Now, the pill company also does registration, but it's the simplest registration. If a person buys 5 million resources in Magic City, goes to Capital City, and buys another 5 million, going everywhere, can the pill company make a complete accounting? It's actually easier to find the evil sect's whereabouts through data. CEO Zhao probably doesn't understand the internet very well. If he did, he wouldn't have said things that let the evil sect take advantage of the loopholes. As soon as he said this, the vice president of the Department of Investigation Services raised his eyebrows. So, if we put an end to offline transactions and transfer all resources to online transactions, the evil sect will have nowhere to hide. Fang Ping laughed. This depends on whether the evil sect martial artists have a legitimate identity. If they have a legitimate identity, then it's useless. However, if an illegal resident wants to buy large amounts of martial arts resources, then it's impossible. However, previously, the black market has been banned repeatedly, creating opportunities for the evil sect martial artists. Fang Ping continued, the offline shops can actually be closed in the future. Pills and weapons are not daily necessities. Ordinary people can't buy much. Places with many martial artists, like martial arts universities and the military department, have stocks. Casual martial artists can also buy through the internet. As long as the delivery is fast enough, it's safe and affordable. Of course, it doesn't have to be closed. We can keep it, but it's still necessary to go online with the online platform. The vice president of the pill company said again, since you said real name registration, including monitoring these data, then we can't let MCMEU operate it. Fang Ping laughed. This isn't a big secret. It's just how many pills and weapons they buy. Of course, this is also considered personal privacy. I said that everyone will monitor it together, not MCMEU alone. Actually, MCMEU won't be involved in the specific operation. These things will be done by Distance Platform. Distance Platform used to be my private enterprise. Now, I mean that it will become everyone's. The operation will be handed over to the platform. The resources will still be where they were originally. It's just using the platform to carry out turnover transactions. Things like price and value will all be standardized. Everyone looked at each other. Wu Quishan opened his mouth again. It's just a test for now. As for the final result, if we find that it's harmful and not beneficial, then we'll just ban it. Fang Ping also quickly said, indeed, it's just a test. It doesn't mean that this platform will eventually become an officially recognized martial arts resources trading platform. I just want to break down the trade barriers between martial arts universities. I'm not talking about replacing the functions of a few major companies or the government. The platform can't do this either. Before the monopoly on pills, weapons, and energy stones is lifted, the platform's purpose is only to facilitate communication. Minister Zhou, who spoke earlier, laughed. If that's the case, then it's your private matter. It doesn't involve government affairs. However, you have to do a good job in reporting. When it comes to the circulation of resources, sometimes it still needs to be supervised. Of course, Fang Ping said quickly. We're also working hard to help the government solve some of the problems in the early stages in preparation for the next policy push. At this point, beside them, CCMU Su Zhan said mildly, if you really want to go on the online platform, does every school have to pay a security deposit? Fang Ping laughed. It's not a security deposit. My idea is that everyone is the master, the owner of the platform. It's to prevent some martial arts universities from not being able to participate in the decision-making and operation, causing everyone to have no intention to promote it. Investing and buying some shares will help everyone take the initiative and promote it, instead of waiting to reap the fruits of others' labor. 300 to 500 million is not a big problem. The question is it necessary? Fang Ping said seriously. It is. After all, there are a lot of things involved. If an accident happens, at least the platform has the conditions to handle it. For example, if a student buys resources worth millions and millions and ends up losing them, the platform will investigate and pursue this responsibility. However, it can affect the student's cultivation, so we have to use these security funds to fill this hole. Also, the platform itself needs to pay a certain amount of security funds to the 3 major companies and then obtain pills, weapons, and energy stones from the 3 major companies. We can't wait until the transaction is over before we pay these funds, can we? Fang Ping smiled at the CEOs of the major companies. Martial arts universities won't do things like putting things on credit first and then paying. Please rest assured, the 3 major companies. We will pay a deposit in advance to buy these. Beside him, Lu Fengru said impatiently, it's not a matter of much money. At this stage, if the school doesn't pay, it won't be much of a problem even if you pay personally. I'm most annoyed by you people. You make such a small matter sound like it's a big deal. Someone did not know whether to laugh or cry. Dean Lu, you have to say, personally, we really can't fork out this amount of money. Fang Ping pretended not to hear that and continued, my idea is to divide the platform into 1,000 shares, 100 million per share. Everyone can subscribe as they please. If you subscribe more, you will get more benefits in the future. If you subscribe less, you will get less in the future. This is also normal. The upper limit is 10 shares, and the lowest is 5 shares. As the initiator, my company will be in charge of the operation in the future, and everyone will supervise it. My company will hold 200 shares. Actually, it's just for show, because it can't be traded. It doesn't really matter whether it's 200 or 300 shares. The main thing is that it's more in line with the company's operating standards. As soon as he said that, someone was speechless. In other words, MCMU won't pay? Fang Ping smiled. No, MCMU will pay too. I'll subscribe for 10 shares, which are not part of the 200 shares. Everyone, I've already said that it's only for the sake of complying with the company's operating standards. At least let the company operate in this name to avoid wrangling in the future. Don't tell me that everyone wants me to invest 20 billion to subscribe for this empty shell of a company's shares. If that's the case, then whoever is willing to do it, then let them do it. If there's really someone who is willing to do it, forget about 200 shares. Even 500 shares won't be a problem. Even if you pay 50 billion, it won't be a problem. Beside him, Chun Yaoding smiled faintly. That's what you say. It's not a problem to really give it to you, but let's make an agreement in advance. If you really want to sell, then take it as an unconditional withdrawal. We won't give you a single cent. Fang Ping smiled bitterly. At least give me some operating fees, right? That's not a big problem. Since we're letting you do it, we won't care about the operating fees. Fang Ping nodded. He looked at the others and asked, Seniors, what do you think? Many people nodded slightly. They did not have much of an opinion. Taking out 3 to 500 million, it was not impossible to give it a try. If it succeeded, it would really achieve the desired goal in the end. It would be a good thing for everyone. On CCMAU's side, Su Zhan raised his eyebrows slightly and said, Must Fang Ping's company operate it? Among CCMAU's affiliated enterprises, there are also a few in the e-commerce business. Fang Ping's company is more suited for this. This was not a problem of money. It was a problem of sovereignty. If MCMAU really took the leadership away, CCMU would really have a hard time making a comeback in the future. Fang Ping smiled and said, Instructor, this is my initiative, my suggestion. It's not appropriate to kick me away now, is it? I'll just tell you the truth. MCMAU is the top elite school, and I, Fang Ping, might be the future vice-chancellor of MCMAU. As for me, I do indeed want to take the leadership this time. To put it more seriously, this is also to increase my qualifications. At least if this is done, everyone will think of me in the future. If I want to be MCMAU's vice-chancellor, at least no one in martial arts universities will think that I, Fang Ping, am not qualified. When these words came out, everyone could not help but laugh. Many people looked at Wu Quishan. Old Wu had not even warmed his seat yet, and there were already people in MCMAU eyeing his position. Wu Quishan did not know whether to laugh or cry, but he was not angry. He only laughed and said, If you have the ability, how about letting you be the vice-chancellor? Beside him, Minister Wang said impatiently, Enough. You guys, do you really think MCMAU is your private territory? You dare to say this in front of me. Minister Zhang is not here, otherwise you'll have a hard time. These two fellows, did they really think that MCMAU's vice-chancellor could say who he was? Without the permission of the Education Ministry, their words did not count. Fang Ping said happily, Minister, I'm working hard in this direction, right? Now that I'm doing more for martial arts universities, the Education Ministry will be happy too. When the time comes, considering my contributions, maybe I can become the vice-chancellor. Martial artists must fight for it. I want to fight for it too. Everyone could not help but laugh one after another, putting his selfish motives on the surface. Some things were easier to talk about. On MCMAU's side, Wu Quishan did not say anything, so naturally the others had nothing to say. Su Zhan still wanted to say a few more words. No matter how nice Fang Ping's words were, CCMAU would not be willing to let MCMAU take over the leadership. Other schools were not qualified to fight for it, but CCMAU was. Just as he was about to speak, the next moment, everyone's expressions changed, and they looked into the distance. In the distance, a giant bridge as long as 100 meters suddenly appeared in the void. In an instant, 3 giant doors landed. Everything happened in an instant. In the next moment, 3 beams of light shot out from the 3 doors. The 3 beams of light merged into one in an instant, turning into a giant sword that reached the heavens. In the blink of an eye, the giant sword turned golden. The golden rays illuminated the entire sky. Everything happened so fast that it could not be any faster. Only then did someone exclaim, Li Changxing's mentality has materialized. How is it so fast? Wasn't it released not long ago? Before these people had finished exclaiming, the next moment, a shocking scene happened again. In the void, 4 small golden people appeared suddenly. Their silhouettes were faintly discernible, but each of them was holding a sword, fighting with the giant sword in the sky. This time, even Fang Ping was stunned. What situation was this? 4 small golden people, holding small swords, were attacking the giant sword in the middle in a frenzy. As for the giant sword, it was also fighting back continuously. The giant sword was getting smaller and smaller. In the crowd, Wu Chuan was slightly shocked. Desperate swordsmanship. Will. This is Commander Li's swordsmanship, Will. He's helping Li Changxing sharpen his sword. Tian Mu also frowned. He's helping him sharpen his mentality sword. I thought it's just the sword intense mentality body. I didn't expect it to be like this. Commander Li thinks so highly of Li Changxing. This guy's talent is only average, right? He's a rank 6 who killed a rank 8. As soon as these words came out, everyone was silent. Indeed, a rank 6 killing a rank 8 since ancient times. Li Changxing seemed to be the only one who had done it. He was a true swordsmanship prodigy. Long life swordsman Duan Changsheng. This guy had gone against the grain to defeat a rank 8. In the air, the 4 small golden people were still holding their swords and attacking the giant sword. The giant sword became smaller and smaller, smaller and smaller. However, everyone could feel it. As the giant sword became smaller, the sword became more condensed. From a state of nothingness, it was showing signs of becoming solid. Just as everyone was watching, a silhouette soared into the sky. In the next moment, everyone was shocked again. Old man Li, who soared into the sky, shone with a golden light. The golden light surged into the giant sword instantly. This time, Wu Quishan's expression turned ugly. He roared, "Stop!" Fang Ping's expression changed. He quickly looked at Chen Yaoding, who was beside him. Chen Yaoding said with a solemn expression, "I don't know what's wrong with Li Changsheng. He wants to unite 10,000 paths." "Old Chen, what do you mean? Is it very dangerous?" "The so-called unite of 10,000 paths is, let's put it this way. He wants to combine his mentality and golden body into one, forging them as one. Legend. Legend. Rank 8 martial artists, if their mentality or matter is indestructible, that means they are immortal. Including rank 7 martial artists, if their mentality is indestructible, rumor has it that they can be resurrected after death. Li Changsheng wants to combine the mentality materialization and golden body now. From now on, he will be one with 10,000 paths. The mentality materialization is him, and he is that sword. Once the sword is destroyed, he will be destroyed, even if the golden body exists. Also, there will be no chance of resurrection. Fang Ping frowned. Why is instructor doing this all of a sudden? At this moment, Li Changsheng, who was in midair, turned a deaf ear to him. He continued to merge with the giant sword. Chen Yaoding frowned slightly. Actually, only he can do this. Of course, maybe you and Li Hansong. Mentality materialization and golden body at the same time, this is actually just a rumor. At least, it has never happened before you guys. Rumor has it that when 10,000 paths unite, combat strength will be stronger. However, this is just a guess, not a real case. Maybe he wants to step into true rank 8 as soon as possible. What do you mean? Combining the golden body and mentality. In the future, he doesn't need to cultivate mentality. He can just focus on cultivating the golden body. This way, his mentality shackles will not exist. While cultivating vitality and golden body, his mentality will also grow. This was also the only method in the ancient records that clearly indicated that one could cultivate psychic energy. However, this method, on one hand, almost no one can do it. On the other hand, it is also easier to die. Chen Yaoding sighed. Beside him, Wu Quishan said with a gloomy expression, "If he does this once he gets injured in the future, he will suffer more pain. Moreover, it will be difficult for him to recover from his injuries. Even the imperishable substance can't heal those injuries. It will be easier for him to be killed. Not only is it difficult to recover, the key is, after 10,000 paths unite, can he really still produce imperishable substance? As soon as he said that, Fang Ping's expression changed. He said hurriedly, "Can't produce imperishable substance? How is that possible?" He's walking on the extreme path. It's an extreme path. There are some unclear records in the ancient records about this path. I'm not sure about the specifics. However, it can indeed allow people to unleash stronger combat strength. A few rank 8 powerhouses were discussing in low voices. Far away, in midair, Old Man Li suddenly swallowed the great sword in one gulp. Then, using his body as a sword, he started fighting the 4 golden midgets. Boom, boom, boom. A series of booming sounds rang out. Then, something that surprised Fang Ping even more happened. Old Man Li suddenly pulled the celestial bridge and Sanjiao Gate that were standing in midair into his hands. The Sanjiao Gate and the celestial bridge shrunk instantly. Then, he swallowed them in one gulp. Fang Ping was stunned. What was Old Man Li doing? Did he think of himself as Jiao? He was swallowing everything into his stomach. Chen Yaoding and Wu Quishan were not surprised. Wu Quishan said coldly, "Since it's 10,000 paths unite, then there's no need for other external factors to exist. From today onwards, Li Changsheng will only cultivate his body, and not his life cultivation." The Grand Masters fell silent one after another. Although martial artists did not cultivate for immortality, among martial arts powerhouses, did none of them care about life and death? Obviously not. Ultimate powerhouses could live for so long because they cultivated their life cultivation. Li Changsheng, on the other hand, did not cultivate his life cultivation. Under 10,000 paths unite, no one knew what would happen when he cultivated to the end. One had to know that there was a life gate in the Sanjiao Gate. Now that he had fused it, who knew what would happen? In the next moment, Old Man Li's body erupted with extremely powerful energy waves. The 3 gates and the celestial bridge collided continuously in his body, erupting waves of energy tides. Old Man Li waved both his arms and slashed at the golden midgets, laughing loudly. "Do you think I'm the last in rank? 8? I was born to be first. 1 bridge and 3 gates enter my stomach. Only Li Changsheng is left in this world." As soon as he finished speaking, a sword gleam that seemed to tear the void apart erupted from his body. In an instant, the 4 golden midgets turned into dust, vanishing into the void. In the next moment, as if teleporting, Old Man Li appeared in front of Su Zhan in an instant, striking with a palm. Bang! Su Zhan sank directly into the ground. Old Man Li laughed maniacally. "Son of a b***, TCH, how dare you suppress me? I can crush you with 1 finger now." Having said that, Old Man Li looked around disdainfully, saying in an extremely savage manner, "Who's not convinced? If not, then come and fight me. Wu Chuan, what are you looking at? You want to hit me? I still remember that 40 years ago, you hammered me." Wu Chuan's expression was pitch black. If it were not for his reservations, he would have killed him with a slap long ago. He really had reservations. It was not an issue of ability. He was worried that if he hurt Li Changsheng, he would not be able to recover. Wu Chuan ignored him. Old Man Li became even more savage, laughing loudly. "There's no one in this world who can match me. Last in rank. 8. Motherf Kerr, who made the ranking. I'll hack him to death with a sword." "Enough." Wu Quishan barked coldly, his gaze icy. "What are you trying to do? Who are you trying to hack to death? Who allowed you to unite 10,000 Das?" Old Man Li coughed dryly, looking indifferent. "I cultivate my own. You cultivate yours." Why do you care how I cultivate? Bastard! Wu Quishan flew into a rage. His eyes were suppressing the endless rage. His anger was mixed with endless worry. If Li Changsheng cultivated recklessly, he might really cut off his path to immortality. Swordsman, longevity breaking longevity. Was he trying to destroy his own path to longevity? The gate of life was swallowed. He could feel the life force in Li Changsheng's body slipping away. As for rank, 8 powerhouses. No, peak rank, 6 powerhouses. It was difficult for them to feel the slipping away of their life force. How many more years could this bastard live? Although martial artists were precarious, at Li Changsheng's level, he would not die so easily. At this moment, everyone was silent. Fang Ping's face was full of worry. He was no longer in the mood to calculate whether those fellows wanted to invest or not. Old man Li, why did he choose this path that had no future for no reason? He did not forget that old man Li once said that the path of martial arts could not be tampered with. When Fang Ping's celestial bridge mutated, old man Li even berated him. But now, he did not even have a celestial bridge. Old man Li was still laughing and scolding, not caring about Wu Quishan's berating. He conveniently kicked Su Zhan, who was struggling to get up, chuckling. Yo, where's the Grandmaster banquet? Why are you all looking at me? Eat and drink. If there's wine today, get drunk today. Who cares who's going to be buried tomorrow? Having said that, a bottle of white wine flew through the air. Old man Li drank it in one gulp, laughing. What are you looking at? Drink. Chapter 479. At the Grand Master Banquet, as Li Changsheng's mentality materialized and 10,000 Dao became one, the atmosphere became slightly quiet. The silence was only limited to grandmasters. Most people did not understand what was happening at all, and no one was in the mood to explain anything. In the venue, old man Li was indescribably cool and romantic. Wine. That was a bottle of wine that was blown out. Fang Ping only watched in silence, not saying a word. Beside him, Qin Fengqing muttered, Old man Li is good. Fang Ping, 10,000 Dao becoming one. Is it really that awesome? Fang Ping glanced at him, saying lightly, You want to try too? I have some ideas. Qin Fengqing touched his bald head, grinning. It feels very awesome. Look, old man, Li is so arrogant, even daring to provoke a rank 9. He has some ability. Is he ready to fight a rank 9? Beside him, Wu Quishan glanced at him, suddenly infuriated. The next moment, Wu Quishan seemed to be venting his anger, kicking over. Bang! A soft sound. Qin Fengqing turned into a black shadow instantly, disappearing without a trace. Fang Ping glanced at Wu Quishan, sighing. Why did you bully Qin Fengqing? Should honest people be bullied? Besides, Qin Fengqing did not have the qualifications to become one with 10,000 Dao. You beat him up just to talk. Old Wu was too cruel. Seeing Wu Quishan looking at him unkindly, Fang Ping chuckled. Good kick. Vice-Chancellor's kick was just right. Get lost. Wu Quishan was not in the mood to joke with him, looking annoyed. Fang Ping laughed. Vice-Chancellor, take it easy. Look at old man Li, how romantic. Say, how long can he live? He could feel old man Li's vitality fading away. Normal martial artists could not sense it, but his mentality was strong. He could still feel it. Being a tortoise for 8 to 10 years. If you fight too much, 3 to 5 years at most. Wu Quishan's expression was ugly. Li Changsheng was not old, only 60. At Li Changsheng's level, he would almost never die of old age. As for Li Changsheng, he might become the first rank 8 martial artist to die of old age. Fang Ping suddenly breathed a sigh of relief. He chuckled. It's been so long. I thought it would only be 3 to 5 days. If that's the case, then I'll have suffered a huge loss. I'm afraid he won't be able to repay the trillions he owes me." As soon as he finished speaking, Old Man Li walked over with an arrogant look on his face. He chuckled and said, "Return what money? Do I owe you money?" Fong Ping's face was full of disdain. He could not be bothered to say more. After thinking for a while, he asked, "What are the benefits of combining 10,000 Daos into one?" "Old man, don't be muddle-headed and foolishly think of the unification of all Daos. What can it do if there are no benefits?" "You know nothing." Old Man Li had a smug look on his face. He said savagely, "Old Wu, I'm considered powerful, right?" "Which Old Wu? Principal or guardian?" "Ahem, it's Old Wu beside you." Wu Quishan looked at him silently, not saying a word. This made Old Man Li a little uncomfortable. What was he looking at? Old Man Li shifted his gaze to Fong Ping, chuckling. "Him, don't think he's strong. In a few days, I'm still getting used to it. In a few days, I'll beat him up until he calls me Grandpa. Do you believe me? So powerful." "Of course," Old Man Li said smugly. 10,000 Daos into one. Do you know what that means? It means that it's very awesome. Do you know how much celestiality outbursts a rank 8 martial artist can unleash?" Old Man Li said gleefully, "Let me calculate for you. 10 hertz mentality plus 100 hertz vitality, 1 C celestiality outburst. Peak rank. 7 martial artists usually have mentality above 3,000 hertz. In other words, they can unleash 300 C celestiality at most. In reality, most martial artists who can't reach this stage and achieve 100% control of their strength are only geniuses like me. Rank 8 martial artists are slightly stronger. Their mentality is as low as 4 or 5,000 hertz, and the highest is probably less than 10,000 hertz. In other words, the most powerful kind. Even a peak rank 8 like Old Wu, if he really used all his strength to unleash a 1,000 C outburst, he'd be dead." "I'm different." Fong Ping chuckled. "How so? Are you stupid? 10,000 Daos into one. In the future, my mentality will be vitality force, and vitality force will be mentality. There's only one power. Vitality force and mentality will fuse and become one. Based on this, my vitality force is 100,000 calories. That's 100,000 hertz mentality. Cough, of course. That's the general calculation." Old Man Li coughed dryly. Of course, it was not that powerful, but he still had to brag. As he said that, he continued, "In other words, if my control of strength is 100%, I can unleash 10,000 celestiality in one move. You understand now? 10,000 times stronger than him. Enough mentality. Vitality is not a problem. Tell me, do you think I can defeat him in one move? 10,000? How is it compared to a rank 9? Old Man Li continued to cough dryly. "Then it's definitely not much worse than a rank 9. So, in a few days, I'll be the first rank 8. So powerful. Isn't it amazing? Then why don't you try fighting Guardian Wu now?" Cough, cough, cough. Old Man Li was speechless, too lazy to say anything. From the side, Lu Fengru and the others also walked over. Lu Polu glanced at Li Changsheng and sighed softly. "This old man has lived longer than you, but he didn't even think of seeking death. Why do you have to?" Old Man Li chuckled. "Who's looking for death? Am I courting death? It was better to control one's fate in one's own hands. Old Lu, to put it bluntly, how many years have you been stuck at rank 7? You know better than me how difficult it is to cultivate mental power. Don't look down on me just because I'm pretending to be an 8th stage cultivator now. Once I'm truly an 8th-stage cultivator, it'll take at least a year or two, and at most, a lifetime. Now that the situation had reached this stage, who knew how long they could survive? Now that he was stronger, he would earn more. 70 was a rare occurrence since ancient times. If one really wanted to live a peaceful and stable life without any battles, living to 70 was already long enough. What else could one want? If he couldn't live to 70, then even if the war came, it wouldn't be a big deal. It's a profitable business. Don't you know how to do accounting? All of you act like their fathers died. Those who don't know might think that I'm dead. Old man, Lee looked indifferent. He grinned and said, 10,000 Tao unification is good. From now on, 10,000 Tao will be one. I'll only cultivate the body, not the mind, and not the life. If the body is strong, the person will be strong. Vitality is easy to cultivate. If I can cultivate 1,000,000 Cal vitality, I'll be stronger than a rank 9. Even a paragon might not be able to defeat me. The realm barrier is gone. Such a good cultivation path can only be cultivated by geniuses like me. You want to cultivate, but you don't have the qualifications. Fong Ping chuckled. I should have the qualifications. Old Manly glanced at him. After a while, he said, You'll talk when you live to my age. I'm 60 years old. After all, you've remembered wrong. You're 61. The new year is over. Is that so? I'm already 61? Yes, the key is that you're still single. It's none of your business. I'm just afraid that you won't live long and can't pay off the trillions you owe me. Get a wife and let your oldly family's descendants pay off the money. Beside them, a few people glanced at the two of them. After a while, Wu Quishan said, You've already unified 10,000 Tao. I won't say anything then. I'm just reminding you, don't go to the catacombs too often in the future. It's none of your business whether I go or not. Old Manly said arrogantly, If I go, can you still bite me? Wu Quishan glanced at him. Suddenly, he said to Fong Ping, Every time he fights, his vitality will drain faster. If he wants to replenish this vitality, he'll need a lot of life essence to maintain it. Fong Ping, I'll leave him to you from now on. The more he fights, the faster he will enter the aging stage. At that time, you can go to the royal city and steal some life essence to replenish his vitality. Can you do that? Fong Ping smiled. No problem. I'm familiar with the royal city. I'll go there when I'm free. Old Man Lee curled his lips. Motherf asterisk Kerr, an old schemer was an old schemer. Wu Quishan did not say anything else. After thinking for a while, he suddenly cursed, Bastard! Commander, Lee specially helped you forge the mentality sword. You motherf asterisk Kerr, I really want to kill you. Commander Lee had high hopes for Li Chongsheng. That was why he specially sent that piece of calligraphy. That piece of calligraphy was not something that could be given away easily, even to a peerless powerhouse. That was used to help Li Chongsheng sharpen his sword. In the end, Old Man Li walked on the path of unified 10,000 Tao. Commander Lee's painstaking efforts were almost wasted. If Old Man Lee did not walk this path after mentality materialization, his mentality would be forged by absolute sword intent. His ability would not be weak, and his future would be brighter. Old Man Lee said nonchalantly, That will take time. Commander Lee is also a guy who makes decisions based on the person. If he had sent me this piece of calligraphy 10 years ago, I would not have walked this path. Look at the situation now. Who has the time to sharpen it? You, Wu Quishan snorted, cursing in his heart. Commander Lee sent this piece of calligraphy. It represented a lot of things. It even included, at the last moment, others could die, but Old Man Lee would be protected. It was not a problem for a peerless powerhouse to protect a rank 8. But now, was a rank 8. Who did not have long to live, still worth protecting by a peerless powerhouse. As for 10 years ago, Li Changsheng did not have the qualifications to be noticed by the peerless powerhouses. Even the current Fang Ping was not qualified. There were many geniuses. In the past 100 years, all kinds of geniuses had appeared. As long as Fang Ping did not become a grandmaster, unless he could kill a rank 8 in rank 6, those peerless powerhouses would not pay too much attention to him. While they were talking, the other grandmasters had also distanced themselves from this place. Fang Ping did not want to say much now. The others were not in the mood to say much either. In the silence, Fang Ping suddenly laughed. "Old man Li, that person from CCMAU is staring at you." Hearing that, old man Li first glared at Fang Ping. Then he turned his head to look at Su Zhan, who was not far away, looking annoyed. He said arrogantly, "Look again. If you look again, I'll knock you out halfway and bury you in a manure pit." Su Zhan's expression was dark. After a while, he said, "Why? Why what?" Old man Li sneered. "Do you think I'm as cowardly as you? When I am a rank 6, I will kill a rank 8. When I am a rank 8, I will kill a rank 9. As long as I can suppress you for one day, I will suppress you for the rest of my life. What is an old turtle like, you know? If you can't do something big, how can you be called a martial artist?" Su Zhan remained silent. Seeing this, Fang Ping suddenly laughed. "Teacher Su, about the platform, you don't have any objections now, do you?" Su Zhan looked at him for a long time before saying, "As you wish," but halfway through his sentence, Su Zhan didn't want to continue. At this moment, MCMAU had reached a point where it was close to insanity. In his opinion, it was a little too impatient and too eager for quick success. However, this was MCMAU's own choice. Since MCMAU wanted to go this way, he had nothing else to say. Li Changsheng was walking the path of the unification of all Daos. He was willing to risk his life. This matter was much more important than the platform. A small e-commerce platform was completely insignificant at this moment. Su Zhan did not have any objections, which meant that CCMEU had given up on this idea. Then things would be much easier to handle. The Grand Master Banquet continued. However, at this moment, the minds of the Grandmasters present were drifting away. Li Changsheng's unification of all Daos. Before coming, almost no one would have thought that this would happen. It was hard to say whether it was worth it or not. If there was an all-out war in 3 to 5 years, and everyone died in battle, then the unification of all Daos would naturally not matter. However, others might not die, but Li Changsheng would definitely die. It was just a matter of time. Just as the Grandmaster's thoughts were in a mess, Fang Ping seemed to have forgotten about this matter. He was holding out documents for everyone to sign. Nanjiang Martial Arts University only bought 5 shares? So stingy? CCMAU is a famous school. 1 billion is nothing. I'll just buy 1 billion for you. Grandmaster Su, would you like to sign? Old Chen, SCMAU is also a famous school. How about 10 shares? FMS is the top military school. 10 shares isn't a lot. Fang Ping took advantage of the uncertainty in everyone's minds to patiently hold out the documents for everyone to subscribe. Some martial arts universities felt that there was still a need to discuss. Fang Ping did not waste time and did not pester them. His words implied that if they did not sign, they would be isolated by the martial arts universities in the future. Only those martial arts universities that signed their names were a family. Those that did not were not a family. After going around, there were 77 martial arts universities that had signed, including the 3 military schools. The least subscribed for 3 shares, and the most subscribed for 10 shares. After some calculations, they had subscribed for almost 400 shares. Fong Ping did not care. He quickly amended the rules and continued to ask everyone to sign. This time, he did not count the 1,000 shares. There were only 500 shares in total. He left 100 shares on Distance's platform as a sign. Whether it was 500 shares or 1,000 shares, to Fong Ping, it was the difference between 10 billion and 20 billion. Whether it was 10 billion or 20 billion, he would be able to meet the requirements for the system upgrade. Now, he was afraid that the system would not approve of it. Fong Ping did not know if this would work, but 10 billion wealth was not easy to earn. Currently, this was the fastest way to earn money, and it was only on paper. It was relatively easier to earn money on paper. He said that he could earn 50 billion in one go in the catacombs. However, if he did not go to the royal city to mine in the catacombs, it was almost impossible to earn that much money. It was not like energy mines could be found anywhere. The first 2 times were also due to luck. If he was unlucky, it was normal to return empty-handed in the catacombs. Fong Ping did not know how long he would have to wait for nearly 10 billion wealth. Moreover, he had to use his wealth. If he encountered some big items next time and could not bring them back, he would have to expand his storage space. If he did not have 100 billion wealth, he would not be able to accumulate so much after spending it. After busying himself for a while, the agreement was finally settled. As for the money, when the platform went online, these fellows would only send the money over. It would still take some time. I hope there's no problem. Fong Ping exhaled. If he succeeded this time, the next system upgrade would be 1 trillion. When he thought of 1 trillion, Fong Ping felt that he should not think about it anymore, unless he really robbed the rank 9 monster plant's life essence. Otherwise, if he went to the royal city's giant mine, it would not be a problem of digging a little, but a lot. If he dug so much, unless the guardian monster plant and monster beast were dead, he would definitely be discovered. 100 billion. If I upgrade, what new functions will the system have? Fong Ping fell into deep thought. After he was done, Fong Ping began to eat and drink with everyone. On this day, Fong Ping drank a lot. The few MCMEU grandmasters also drank a lot, so much so that their eyes were not very clear. It was not until the banquet was about to end that Fong Ping saw Qin. Fong Qing rushing back angrily. This fellow did not seek revenge on Wu Quishan, but found Chen Haoren smiling and inviting Chen Haoren to continue sparring at night. As Fong Ping listened, he could not help but laugh. The banquet lasted for a long time. It was not until 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon that the guests dispersed. As the guests dispersed, the news about Li Changxing's 10,000 unification spread among the Grandmaster's circle. No one in MCMEU paid attention to any of this. Fong Ping also sent everyone away, including Fong Yuan, who was full of rewards. Chapter 480. Macmao. 3 days before the end of the Grand Master Banquet. Martial Arts Club. Fong Ping held the phone and said loudly, "President Zhang, isn't Huaxi Martial Arts University's efficiency too slow? Out of all the martial arts universities, you're the only one who hasn't received any money yet. Do you want to participate or not?" "It's fine if you don't want to participate. When the platform goes live in the future, Huaxi Martial Arts University students don't have to buy things on the platform anymore. Just be self-sufficient. Did they just fight? All right, I'll check the accounts. The bank probably hasn't transferred the money yet." After hanging up, Fong Ping glanced at Qin Fengqing in front of him and said impatiently, "Why are you here again?" "Fong Ping, help!" Qin Fengqing was a little dispirited. He wanted to cry, but had no tears. "I didn't want to come, but I had no choice." Fong Ping was speechless. He could not be bothered to respond. Seeing that he was ignoring him, Qin Fengqing looked at Chen Yunxi, who was tidying up the documents, and whined, "Junior sister Yunxi, please, can you send your brother away? I admit defeat. If worse comes to worst, I'll let him beat me up. I admit defeat." Qin Fengqing really wanted to cry. Everyone had left except Chen Haoren. This guy had masochistic tendencies. After being beaten up by Qin Fengqing, he had developed feelings. "I'm not leaving." These few days, he would drag Qin Fengqing to spar with him whenever he had nothing to do. Beating him up felt good. It felt good to be beaten up twice. But when the number of times became 10 or 20, and he still couldn't beat that bastard to death, Qin Fengqing really wanted to cry. He wanted to cultivate. The more you beat him up, the less fun it would be. Now that Chen Haoren refused to leave and looked for him every day, he was about to collapse. Chen Yunxi whispered, "President Qin, you're the one who said that I wanted to spar with you. I'm just saying." Fang Ping interrupted her directly. "Stop talking nonsense. Go wherever you want." Yunxi urged the bank to transfer Huaxi Martial Arts University's money over as soon as possible. All right. Chen Yunxi started making phone calls. Qin Fengqing was helpless. He could not be bothered to continue this topic. He asked, "I heard that the Tian'an catacombs is about to open?" "Yes." "When are we going?" Fang Ping glanced at him and frowned. "Why are you going?" "Now, only grandmasters are being recruited. Do you have the qualifications to go?" "I don't care. I'm going anyway." At this moment, Qin Fengqing was about to enter middle stage rank 5. The life essence that Fang Ping had promised was also in his hands. However, looking at the situation, if he cultivated for a while longer as a middle stage rank 5, he would go bankrupt again. When Tian'an's catacombs open, Magic City will no longer seal you. You can go to Magic City. Qin Fengqing immediately shook his head and said, "There's nothing good in Magic City now. Go to Tian'an. Tian'an is going to have a big war. Fish in troubled waters. Maybe you can pick up a rank 9 monster plants corpse." Fang Ping was speechless. "You wish." She could not be bothered with him. Beside her, Chen Yunxi hung up the phone and nodded. "The bank said to transfer the money to our account immediately. That's good." Fang Ping felt a little uneasy. This was the final debt. Previously, when the other schools transferred money, the system did not react, and his wealth did not increase. This time, there was some suspicion of taking advantage of a loophole. He didn't know if the system counted, and if it approved of him. If there was still no movement after this debt was paid, it meant that he had failed this time. Qin Fengqing saw that he was very anxious and whispered, "Fang Ping, are you preparing to cheat them of their 40 billion? If that's the case, why don't you count me in?" From his point of view, Fang Ping would not benefit from doing this. However, if he cheated these martial arts universities of 40 billion was also a very big fortune. Fang Ping said nothing. This guy's IQ was getting worse. Including the military schools, there were as many as 80 participating schools. There were dozens of grandmasters. If he cheated them of their money for these tens of billions, he would be digging his own grave. Seeing that Fang Ping was ignoring him, Qin Fengqing whispered again, "Fang Ping, I'll tell you a secret. Do you want to hear it? If there's nothing else, then scram. I'm busy. It's true. If you help me get Chen Haoren out of here, I'll tell you." "Say it first. I'll think about it after you're done." Qin Fengqing looked gloomy. After thinking for a while, he said, "Yesterday, I was chatting with Fatty Jiang. Fatty Jiang told me that when the Yang family's elder ancestor fell, his corpse still hasn't been found." Fang Ping's expression changed slightly. "What does that mean?" "Are you stupid? It means that the Yang family's elder ancestor's corpse might still be in Tian'an's catacombs." Seeing that Fang Ping was interested, Qin Fengqing whispered, a paragon powerhouse. Of course, it's our own people's corpse. We can't do that. But the paragon ancestor, doesn't he have anything good on him? If we find it and send the ancestor home, we'll keep his belongings. Maybe Polaris City will give us a lot of benefits. When Tiannan's catacombs opens this time, Polaris City will also send people there. Fong Ping frowned. The paragon ancestor has fallen. Since it's confirmed that he's fallen, why hasn't the corpse of such a big shot been transported back? Qin Fengqing whispered. I heard that the Yang family's elder ancestor fell when he was crossing boundaries. His corpse seems to have fallen into the bounded boundaries. Later, a great war broke out in Tiannan's catacombs. The other paragon ancestors couldn't leave at all, or to put it bluntly, they're also afraid of death. If one can fall, then a second can fall. If that's the case, then it'll be troublesome. That's why the paragon ancestor hasn't gone there to search. This time, Polaris City has arranged for some people to search. Under the paragon, it's no big deal if he dies. Fong Ping frowned. What does that have to do with you? Polaris City has arranged for at least rank 7 and 8 martial artists to search. You're just a rank 5 martial artist. Do you want to go and die? The bounded boundaries are so dangerous. Even the paragon ancestors have fallen. Do you, Qin Fengqing, really think you're that lucky? Qin Fengqing's eyes were burning. I heard that there are ruins in the bounded boundaries. There are even ruins of humans from the ancient martial era. During the ancient martial era, humans entered the catacombs. Fong Ping, have you ever thought that humans were stronger than they are now? Also, the passageways are open now. I've said before that these passageways might have existed before, but now they're being opened by someone. This means, maybe a long time ago, our people entered the catacombs on their own initiative. Later, they retreated and sealed the catacombs. These catacombs, passageways. I even suspect that they were opened by our human ancestors themselves. Opening passageways between two realms. What kind of ability is that? At least the current paragon can't do it. Of course, I don't know the specifics, but that's my guess. If that's the case, then what's in the ruins in the bounded boundaries? Cultivation methods from the ancient martial era, combat techniques, or even a mental energy cultivation method, or perhaps treasures that pile up like a mountain? Fong Ping, aren't you interested in taking a look? Beside him, Chen Yunxi suddenly scolded. Qin Fengqing, can you go further away? Every time Qin Fengqing instigated Fong Ping to go to dangerous places, Chen Yunxi had tolerated him for a long time. At this moment, she exploded and said angrily, Fong Ping is already rank 6. As long as the Sanjiao Gate is sealed, my grandfather said that he can reach rank 8 very soon. When he reaches rank 8, Fong Ping will be the most talented martial artist among humans, the youngest rank 8 grandmaster. You're always making him go to dangerous places. Don't you find it annoying? Chen Yunxi's sudden outburst was something Qin Fengqing did not expect. Hearing that, he looked gloomy and said helplessly, Junior Sister Yunxi, I'm just saying. Fong Ping is not a child. If he wants to go, I can't stop him. If he doesn't go, and I'm not his opponent, how can I force him to go? Chen Yunxi did not care about this. She said angrily, Anyway, you're not allowed to talk about this anymore. Or else I'll ask my grandfather to settle the score with you. Qin Fengqing was too much. It was like this every time. Every time, Fong Ping would be in danger. This made Chen Yunxi want to beat him up very badly. It was only because she was not as strong as him that she did not take action. Fong Ping did not care about them. He tapped the table lightly, thought for a while, looked at Qin Fengqing, and said, It's useless even if you say it. I only do some things because I'm confident. You're completely relying on luck. You can't even go to the bounded zones. Qin Feng Qing, do you think that you can pass through the forbidden areas of the major cities and enter the bounded zones? Qin Feng Qing chuckled and said, We'll see. Anyway, this time when the Tian'an catacombs opens, I want to go and take a look. Also, Old Wang will go too. Didn't his teacher fall into it 2 years ago? This guy, maybe he'll go to the bounded zones too. We'll see. As for you, it's up to you whether you bring me or not. I don't want to be with you anyway. Fang Ping was about to speak when his eyes suddenly moved. He waved his hand and said, You break through to middle stage rank 5 first. Don't bother me if there's nothing important. As for Chun Haoren, let Zhang Yu spar with him. After saying that, Fang Ping ignored him and began to check his data panel. Wealth, 102. 2 billion converted vitality. 6,999 calories. 6,999 calories. Mentality, 929 hertz, 929 hertz. Bones honed, 177 bones, 100%. 29 bones, 90%. Storage space, 32 cubic meters plus. Energy shield, 10,000 wealth/minute. His wealth had increased less than 10 billion, but the difference was not big. It was about 9 billion. Fang Ping could understand. After all, he had invested some capital into the website. No matter how much it was, his wealth was now more than 100 billion. Fang Ping was overjoyed. Finally, it was more than 100 billion. The system had recognized the platform's value increase this time. Out of the 500 shares, Fang Ping owned 100 shares. The other 400 shares were valued at 40 billion. This money was said to be the price of the platform's shares, but in reality, it was not the platform's value. But the system still recognized it. Fang Ping saw the system panel turn black instantly, but he did not care. This was necessary for the system to upgrade. It was a good thing. At this moment, Fang Ping was thinking about whether he should pay more attention to the company's matters. This kind of literal money was actually easier to earn than real money. 1 trillion, maybe it was in the company. 1 trillion, when converted into resources, was an astronomical figure. But a company worth 1 trillion, although this was also difficult, it was not impossible. Even if it was not 1 trillion, it would increase his book wealth by 300 to 500 billion. That was also a good thing. Thinking of this, Fang Ping tilted his head and looked at Chen Yunxi, saying, If you have time, help me manage Distance Company. Anyway, just expand as much as you can. Later, I'll make a company with a market value of 1 trillion to play with. Qin Feng Qing, who had not left, was a little speechless. This guy, he was always doing these ridiculous things. Sometimes money was useless. For example, if you had 10 billion, you might not be able to buy a divine weapon. Of course, money was not useless. At least things like pills and energy stones could still be bought. For big forces, money was also very useful. But Fang Ping, was it necessary to make his own company? It was not like he was too short of resources. Qin Feng Qing could not figure it out, but Chen Yunxi did not care too much. She nodded, feeling a little excited. Fang Ping actually let her manage the company. What did this mean? Did he trust her, or did he hand over all his assets? Fang Ping did not stay long in the martial arts society. For the rest of the day, Fang Ping did not even have the mood to cultivate. The system upgrade lasted for a long time this time. It was not until the 7th of April that the system upgrade ended. In the dormitory, Fang Ping hurriedly checked the upgraded system. Wealth, 102. 2 billion converted vitality. 6,999 calories, 6,999 calories. Mentality, 929 hertz, 929 hertz. Bones honed, 177 bones, 100%, 29 bones, 90%. Storage space, 32 cubic meters plus. Energy shield, 10,000 wealth/minute plus. Aura simulation, 100,000 wealth/minute plus. What's going on? When he saw the updated data on the system panel, Fong Ping's face was gloomy. That was it. 100 billion upgrade. That was the result. There was an additional aura simulation. This time, Fong Ping could roughly guess the function of this function. Aura simulation or energy simulation. Before this, the energy shield was only responsible for shielding energy, not converting auras. Before this, Fong Ping could only do some sneaky things like digging holes. He could hide some energy fluctuations from the average catacombs martial artist, but when he reached the higher ranks, his little bit of energy fluctuations could actually be seen through very easily. Now, the new function could be considered to have made up for this. Maybe it could simulate the energy fluctuations of real catacombs martial artists. This function was very good. His camouflage skill could be considered fully accomplished. However, an upgrade of 100 billion wealth only added this point. Fong Ping's expression turned slightly ugly. If he were to upgrade again, it would be 1 trillion. How many years and months would it take to reach 1 trillion? That's not right. There's a plus sign at the end. Fong Ping suddenly realized something was wrong. He murmured, "A plus sign? Even the energy shield has a plus sign. What does this mean?" After thinking for a while, Fong Ping silently said to add an energy shield. In the end, this time, some more data was actually given. Energy shield, 10,000 wealth/minute, plus 100,000 wealth/minute plus. A strange look flashed in Fong Ping's eyes. In the next moment, Fong Ping pressed the plus sign again. Energy shield, 10,000 wealth/minute, plus 21 million wealth/minute plus. Fong Ping touched his chin and murmured, "The plus sign is still there. I can continue to add." Gritting his teeth, Fong Ping tried to press the plus sign again. After a while, the data changed again. Energy shield, 10,000 wealth/minute, plus 1,000 million wealth/minute plus. Fong Ping hurriedly stopped. Very quickly, the data behind it disappeared. And in this short period of time, Fong Ping had spent more than 10 million wealth. This plus sign, could it be? Fong Ping thought of something. His eyes lit up instantly, and he said in shock, "Could it be this is to add an energy shield for others? Plus sign, does it mean that there are a few people?" If that's the case, Fong Ping suddenly thought of an extremely important matter. If his guess was right, then was there a limit to the strength of the martial artists who added the energy shield? If there was no limit, if he added an energy shield to the peerless powerhouses and hid 3 to 5 peerless powerhouses to ambush the catacombs powerhouses, would he not be able to kill the other party quickly? There should be a limit, right? Fong Ping's heart was beating wildly. If there was no limit, then this insignificant function could even change the entire situation of the human race. Why did the peerless powerhouses not surround and kill them? More than 10 peerless progenitors should not have a problem killing a catacombs peerless powerhouse, right? It was not that they did not want to do it. It was that they could not do it, and there was no other way. If more than 10 human peerless powerhouses gathered together, just that kind of aura alone could not be concealed. Ordinary people might not be able to discover it, but same-rank powerhouses would definitely be able to sense it. Therefore, this kind of thing was useless, not to mention nearby. Even if a rank 9 peerless entered the periphery of the catacombs, they would be sensed by the peerless powerhouses in the depths, even if they were thousands of miles away. Is there a limit or not? Also, not only the energy shield, there's also aura simulation, also with the plus sign. If it can really simulate the catacombs' martial artists' aura, then bringing a few rank 9 peerless powerhouses to simulate their own family. No, bringing Old Man Lee and the rest to pretend to be catacombs' martial artists. Wouldn't it be easy to kill them all? Thinking of this, Fong Ping could not sit still anymore. These two functions might really change the entire situation of the human race. There was never a moment when Fong Ping felt that he was this important. Martial Arts Society. The moment Fong Ping dashed in, he pressed the plus sign on the energy shield. As expected, a blurry image appeared in his mind. Fong Ping instantly thought of Chen Yunxi. The next moment, the dazed Chen Yunxi in front of him, her aura disappeared. Chen Yunxi herself did not feel anything. She only looked at Fong Ping somewhat blankly. She would be embarrassed if Fong Ping stared at her blankly the moment he entered the door. It really works. Fong Ping's expression was overjoyed. Without another word, he immediately ran outside. A few minutes later, Fong Ping found Huang Jing, who was in the office, and pressed the plus sign again. No, no way. Fong Ping's expression changed again, and again. He could not help but scold. I knew it. Mother ***, you're cheating my feelings again. Huang Jing's expression changed too. Fong Ping. His arrogance had reached the point of no return. He was sitting in the office, and Fong Ping dashed in, first glared at him, then scolded him. This was too much of a ***king bully. Even if you wanted to seize power, I didn't provoke you, did I? Did you really not take me seriously? Huang Jing's lungs were about to explode. His expression was livid. Without another word, he waved his palm. Fong Ping subconsciously raised his hand to counterattack. Huang Jing flew into a rage and scolded loudly, How dare you fight back? I didn't even cause trouble for you. You scolded me the moment you entered the door, and you still dare to fight back. Are you trying to turn the world upside down? Huang Jing was furious. He really could not tolerate this. Fong Ping, on the other hand, had come to his senses. His expression changed drastically, and he was so wronged that he was about to break down. He quickly said, Vice Chancellor, I didn't scold you. Really, I promise. Even if you gave me 10 guts, I still wouldn't dare to scold you. Huang Jing was not willing to listen to his explanation. In the next moment, the enraged Huang Jing no longer attacked through the air. He personally went into battle, grabbed both of Fong Ping's arms, gathered all his strength, and directly threw him out the window. This time, Huang Jing used all his strength. Fong Ping shot out, as fast as lightning. His half-golden body almost created sparks in the air, exploding all the way as he broke through the air. At this moment, Huang Jing let out a humph, slightly satisfied. He had roughly guessed that Fong Ping was not scolding him. No matter how unreliable that kid was, he would not be so savage as to run into his office to scold people. However, since he had already hit the wrong person, he might as well make the best of it and take the opportunity to teach this kid a lesson. Chapter 481. Southern District. On the sea. Fong Ping floated on the sea, thinking about life. He did not think much of being thrown to the beach by Huang Jing. After all, it was not a small piece of meat. At this moment, Fong Ping felt a little sad. The heaven-defying ability was gone. The energy barrier was useless against Huang Jing. Since that was the case, the imitation of aura would be useless. So, there's a limit to my strength. Are there any restrictions for rank 5 and 6 martial artists? He had only tried Chen Yunxi before, and Chen Yunxi was only rank 4. At the thought of this, Fong Ping wasted no time. Very quickly, he crawled out of the water, shook off the water, and instantly evaporated his body. Then, He quickly ran toward the crowded place. Half an hour later, in the corner, Fang Ping mumbled, "At most, they can only be of the same rank as me." He gave it a try. At most, he could only conceal the aura of an early-stage rank 6 martial artist, not even a middle-stage one. Damn, I've been happy for nothing. Fang Ping cursed under his breath. What a pity. Otherwise, he would have brought a few rank 9 paragons to the catacombs. He could have turned the catacombs upside down. When the 14 paragons of China gathered together, they would be able to slay gods and Buddhas alike. Even if he did not need 14 of them, just one of them would be able to quickly pacify the catacombs and secretly kill those rank 9 city masters, monster plants, and monster beasts. What a pity! Fang Ping's heart was filled with regret. According to the current trend, he would only be able to bring along a desperate realm powerhouse to go out and have fun when he had achieved rank 9 paragon. This was a little unreliable. Who knew when he would be able to reach this realm? As for the maximum number of people the energy shield could carry, Fang Ping did not try. Carrying 3 of them would cost 10 million per minute. 1 hour would cost 600 million. 1 day and 1 night would cost more than 10 billion. Fang Ping felt that he would go bankrupt. The plus sign was still there, so he should be able to continue increasing the number of people. However, with 4 people, based on 10 times the consumption, 100 million per minute, that would be 6 billion per hour. Thinking of this, Fang Ping immediately dismissed the idea. What a joke! He had more than 100 billion wealth, but he was carrying 4 people. If he used it all up in less than a day, he could cry himself to death. There's also aura simulation. Can it simulate a high-ranked aura? Fang Ping continued trying out the new functions. After a while, Fang Ping sighed again. As expected, the system still had restrictions on him. He could only imitate the strength of the aura of someone of the same level or lower grade. However, Fang Ping's eyes lit up slightly. This function was getting interesting. When Fang Ping tried to simulate his aura, many people's auras flashed across his mind. They were all people that he had come into contact with before. However, he could not simulate a high-ranked martial artist's aura, but the others could still do it. McMao, Southern Blood Chi Pool. Song Yingji was chatting with a teacher when he heard footsteps behind him. Song Yingji sensed the aura and turned around with a smile. Qin Feng Qing, why did you come to the vitality pool today? Before he could finish his sentence, he was stunned. The person behind him, who was wearing a mask, suddenly stretched out his hand and flicked his forehead. Hee, instructor, I'm Fang Ping. I'm here to beat you up. With that, the person fled quickly, disappearing without a trace in the blink of an eye. Beside him, the instructor in charge of guarding the blood vitality pool asked with a dazed look on his face, "Old Song, did someone flick your head?" "I think so." Song Yingji was stunned. "Did I get flicked in the head?" Fang, not Fang Ping. The next moment, Song Yingji was so angry that his lungs were about to explode. He cursed, "Qin Feng Qing, that bastard, he's looking for death. Mother of asterisk cur, do you think I'm an idiot? You think I can't recognize you just because you're wearing a mask? You think I can't recognize you just because you're pretending to be Fang Ping's voice? Since when did martial artists recognize people based on their voices? A martial artist's vitality force had its own unique aura. When this guy came, he could already tell that it was Qin Feng Qing. Not to mention, when he ran, that rich vitality force. Song Yingji flew into a rage. The instructor beside him held back his laughter and said, "Don't be angry, don't be angry. Calm down. Recently, Qin Feng Qing is probably under a lot of pressure from cultivation. He's a little out of his mind. It's just a flick in the head. Don't be calculative with him. Get lost." Song Yingji was furious. He said angrily, "That bastard Fong Ping keeps saying that he wants to beat me up. He's a rank 6 after all. I might not be his match. That bastard Qin Fengqin is only a rank 5, and he dares to provoke me. I'm going to beat him to death today." Song Yingji left in a huff. The monk could run, but the temple could not. He would find Qin Fengqin and beat the bastard to death. Flick his own head until it swelled like a watermelon. Actual combat building. Tang Wen was cultivating combat techniques when someone suddenly appeared behind her, grabbed her shoulder, and tossed her up. Tang Wen could not control herself at all. She could not even step on air. In the next moment, she landed on the ground directly, then was tossed up again, then landed again, and tossed up again. Below her, a man wearing a hood laughed in a low voice. "Big Lion actually dared to bully me, Fong Ping. I said I would take revenge." Tang Wen was about to cry. What was going on? Did President Fong not make peace with her dad? Why did he come to bully her again? And he did it himself. Did he have no shame? As she was thinking, the masked man seemed to have used a little too much force. Vitality force leaked. At this moment, Tang Wen instantly gritted her teeth. "Qin Fengqin, you're good. If I don't let my dad beat you to death today, I'm not Tang Wen anymore. How dare you pretend to be the president? I knew it. How could the president do something so senseless? So it was you. Did you think that I wouldn't recognize you just because you pretended to be the president?" Tang Wen was so angry that her lungs were about to explode. Qin Fengqin was already a rank 5. Yet, he still did something so senseless. Did he have no shame? He even purposely framed her. That was too much. Tang Wen did not say a word. "Keep throwing. I'll get my dad to throw you too." After a while, the masked man noticed that the people around him were dumbfounded. He suddenly laughed. "Luo Sheng, you're here too. That's great. I'll teach you a lesson too." The next moment, both of them were tossed around like rubber balls. They were tossed around until they were about to puke. This bastard was too much of a bully. After a while, the masked man left. Luo Sheng was dumbfounded. He put on a long face and said, "What did the president do? I didn't provoke him, did I?" "Idiot! That's not the president. It's that bastard Qin Fengqin." Tang Wen gritted her teeth and retched. She said angrily, "Let's go. We'll complain to my dad. You go to your dad. He's such a bully. Beat him to death." When Luo Sheng heard that it was Qin Fengqin, he breathed a sigh of relief. At the same time, he said angrily, "I knew the president wouldn't be so senseless. Brother Qin is too much. I'll go and reason with my dad." The next moment, both of them left to find their own fathers. On the 7th of April, something unexpected had happened in MCMAU. Qin Fengqin was crazy. This guy wore a mask and ambushed many people in MCMAU. There were rank 6 instructors, rank 5 students. Zhang Yu, rank 2 Tang Wen, and Luo Sheng ambushing rank 5 and rank 6 people was one thing, but this shameless guy even bullied rank 2 people. Moreover, this guy deliberately pretended to be Fong Ping. All the victims were indignant. Even if you wanted to pretend, you had to be more convincing. Who could not feel your vitality force? Energy room. When Tang Feng, Luo Yichuan, Song Yingji, Zhang Yu, a lot of people came to his door and blocked Qin Fengqin in the celestial cultivation room. Qin Fengqin looked confused and angry. "I didn't do it. You're still so stubborn." Song Yingji was choking with anger. He said angrily, "Good boy, Fong Ping has reached rank 6, but he didn't dare to do something like deceiving his master and destroying his ancestors. And you did it first. I was guarding against Fong Ping, but I didn't guard against you. You're good." He was guarding against everything, but He was guarding against Fang Ping. That kid Fang Ping had said long ago that he would find an opportunity to beat him up. But Qin Fengqing actually dared to bully him. This was simply too much, to the point of no return. Song Yingji was furious. Tang Feng's face was also dark. Qin Fengqing really needed to teach him a lesson. Fang Ping was also there, asking Zhang Yu about what happened. After understanding what happened, Fang Ping said with a serious expression, "Qin Fengqing, you've gone too far. You actually flicked the instructor's head. This is too much. You even bullied Tang Wen and Luo Sheng. You even bullied Rank, two martial artists. Do you have any humanity left? Apologize immediately." Qin Fengqing's grief and indignation could not be any greater. He said with a long face, "No, I didn't do it. I was framed. Someone must have framed me." Fang Ping said, seriously, "Did I frame you? You even impersonated my voice. Am I as stupid as you?" Qin Fengqing suddenly thought of something. He looked at Fang Ping suspiciously. Seeing that the others were looking at him, he immediately shouted, "I'm framed. I have proof." After saying that, Qin Fengqing immediately said, "It must be Fang Ping. He's the most sinister guy. Instructor Tang, I've been cultivating in the Celestiality Cultivation Room today. I didn't go out at all. Instructor Zhang can be my witness. He's been here the whole time." Beside him, an instructor who was newly transferred to watch over the energy room said, "Was it today? Qin Fengqing didn't go out at all today. I thought it was because of what happened before." As soon as he said that, everyone suddenly looked at Fang Ping. Fang Ping's expression stiffened. "Qin Fengqing didn't go out in closed-door cultivation. I thought he went out." This was not easy to explain. Song Yingji also looked suspicious. Qin Fengqing didn't move that fast. Zhang Yu also pulled away from Fang Ping. He gritted his teeth and said, "Qin Fengqing and I are the same rank. It doesn't make sense that he could suppress me so quickly. I couldn't even fight back. I was still wondering how his strength improved so quickly." Fang Ping's expression did not change. He coughed softly and said, "Don't look at me. I'm not that kind of person. Moreover, why would I bully a kid like Tang Wen? I'm a rank 6 martial artist. I'm also a person who cares about my reputation." Qin Fengqing scolded, "You don't care about your reputation. It's not like you haven't done this before. You used to bully Zhao Lei and the others every day. You haven't done it recently, but that doesn't mean you won't do it forever. You're a shameless person deep down. There's no way to hide it. He definitely did it. If I did it, I'd be stupid to leak my vitality aura on purpose. Others might not say anything, but I can still hide it from Tang Wen." He even played hard to get, saying it was Fang Ping on purpose. "It's not on purpose, it's this bastard. This bastard has a lot of things to do. He came right after you guys arrived. He's obviously here to watch the show. Instructor, beat him to death. Beat this bastard to death. He deceived his master and destroyed his ancestors. He actually flicked the instructor's head. This is a great humiliation. Instructor Song, if you don't beat him to death, you won't have the face to be a teacher anymore." Qin Fengqing cursed for a while, then looked at Tang Feng and said, "Instructor Tang, you should beat him to death while you still can. Beat him to death first. He hasn't reached rank 7 yet. If he had, you'd still be beaten up today. Shameless, despicable, and despicable." Qin Fengqing scolded loudly. This was too infuriating. Fortunately, he did not go out today. Otherwise, he would have to bear a huge blame. Song Yingji and the others would definitely beat him up. 100%. This bastard Fang Ping had no conscience at all. How dare he deliberately make him bear the blame and get beaten up? Where was his humanity? Tang Feng and the others looked at Fang Ping dangerously. Fang Ping pretended to be calm and said, Vitality won't hide from others. My vitality is different from Qin Fengqing's. Tang Feng looked at Qin Fengqing suspiciously again. Qin Fengqing said gloomily, "Don't look at me. This guy has a lot of tricks. He can even hide his aura. Since he can hide his aura, it's normal for him to disguise other people's vitality. Others can't do it, but he definitely can." At this moment, everyone looked at Fang Ping. What Qin Fengqing said was absolutely right. It was hard to say for others. After all, vitality was a martial artist's foundation. It was almost impossible to change. But Fang Ping, that might not be the case. Fang Ping was all smiles and said quickly, "How is that possible?" Tang Feng pondered for a moment. Suddenly, he said, "Whether it's you or not, you're the biggest suspect. Don't say anything else. These two are not good people. It's either Qin Fengqing or Fang Ping. Beat them up together." Anyway, beating them up together was definitely not wrong. In MCMAU, only these two were not good people. At the side, the grinning Qin Fengqing's face froze. He was really King innocent. Trouble came from the sky. After a while, Tang Feng and the others left. They left satisfied. Fang Ping and Qin Fengqing looked at each other. In the next second, Qin Fengqing was furious. He said sullenly, "I'll fight it out with you. If you didn't do this, I'll kill myself." Tang Feng and the others might not be sure, but as the person involved, Qin Fengqing was 100% sure that it was Fang Ping who did it. Fang Ping sent him flying with a kick. He rubbed the dark circles under his eyes and said gloomily, "These guys wanted to beat me up for a long time. I made a mistake this time. If I had known, I wouldn't have come to watch the show." Qin Fengqing snorted. Then he asked slyly, "You can change the aura of your vitality force." Actually, Tang Feng and the others wanted to ask about this. However, after thinking about it, they decided not to ask. They would beat him up first. If they found out that Fang Ping could not do it, then he was innocent. Then they would have no reason to beat him up. Fang Ping grinned and said, Guess my ass. You tricked me this time and caused me to get beaten up. Tell me, how are you going to compensate me for my losses?" "Compensate? I'll give you a 10 million interest discount. Is that enough? I'm a generous person. 10 million for a beating. Where are you going to find that?" Fang Ping's face was full of generosity. He thought for a while and suddenly laughed. "What do you think? Next time, I'll pretend to be you and rob a grandmaster." Qin Fengqing's face darkened. Then his eyes lit up. "Can I disguise myself as a grandmaster? Nonsense. I can only imitate you because your vitality force is too lousy. I can just imitate you casually." Qin Fengqing was dubious. He was not too sure. Only imitate me? Did that not mean that when this bastard did bad things in the future, he would have to be the scapegoat for him? When he thought of this, Qin Fengqing was about to break down. What made him break down even more was that Qin Fengqing thought deeper. He said in grief and indignation, "You're not going to King accuse me, are you? If I King married someone and you sneak in the middle of the night, CK, I'll kill you today." Qin Fengqing decided to fight it out with him. This bastard Fang Ping, if he did not die today, he would not rest. However, his strength was not as good. After a few minutes, Qin Fengqing was beaten black and blue. He finally chose to give up. If worst came to worst, he would not marry anyone. If this bastard Fang Ping did not die, he would not marry. Fang Ping did not care what he thought. After experimenting for a while, he was in a good mood. Although this aura simulation consumed a lot of wealth, 100,000 wealth for a minute, it was indeed a good thing. Imitating Qin Fengqing's aura today had almost caused Qin Fengqing to be beaten to death. Then, if he imitated a catacomb's martial artist's aura, would it cause internal strife in the catacombs? Of course, today they were on the same side. His acting was more important. However, when he was in the catacombs, if he put on a good show, maybe he could really reap the benefits. If I had this ability last time, I could directly imitate the Sky Gate city martial artist's aura. Then it would be even more realistic. Chapter 482. After framing Qin Fengqing once and getting himself beaten up, Fang Ping was not interested in wasting his wealth points on this anymore. In the next few days, Fang Ping began to attempt rank 6 cultivation. He sealed the Sanjiao Gate. The Sanjiao Gate, early stage rank 6, had to seal the Gate of Vitality. The stronger a martial artist's vitality was, the harder it was to seal it. In the cultivation room, there were 3 doors above Fang Ping's head. He stared at the first door on the left for a long time. This door seemed to have come from ancient times. Rather than saying that it was closed, it was more appropriate to say that it was closed. A door actually had a door. Now that the door was wide open, Fang Ping needed to close the door bit by bit. And this required him to expend a large amount of energy to move it. When he moved the door, Fang Ping felt that his speed had slowed down to its limit. The invisible door seemed to weigh billions of kilograms. After expending a tremendous amount of effort, Fang Ping had only moved a little. He was still a long way from closing the door. No wonder everyone spent so much time sealing the Sanjiao Gate. Rank 6 martial artists almost did not have any means to accelerate cultivation. Of course, if he had sufficient vitality, he could still transport it a few more times. Fang Ping, for example, could continue to replenish his vitality and continue to transport it. Other rank 6 martial artists could transport for 2 to 3 hours a day, but he could do it continuously. This was his advantage. However, in Fang Ping's eyes, it was still too slow. Based on the current speed, it would take at least a year or 2 for the Sanjiao Gate to be completely sealed. 1 or 2 years is too slow. If outsiders knew what Fang Ping was thinking, they would probably break down. Who did not spend endless time and effort to seal the Sanjiao Gate? Was it very slow for Fang Ping to take a year or 2? Others might think it was fast, but Fang Ping really thought it was slow. In the following period of time, he tried to use his mental energy and the power of the heavens and earth to move the energy. In the end, he discovered that the power of heaven and earth was quite helpful in sealing the Sanjiao Gate. The stronger the power, the easier it was to move it. But the consumption is also great. Celestiality consumed too much of his wealth. However, with 100 billion wealth in hand, Fang Ping felt that it was acceptable, albeit reluctantly. The faster it was done, the better. Moreover, Fang Ping even tried using his mentality to explore the Sanjiao Gate. In the end, he discovered that it was empty inside. It was just a stretch of nothingness. No matter how much he explored, it was the same. Fang Ping was actually quite curious about the Sanjiao Gate. This gate, where did it come from? He knew about the Celestial Bridge. It was built by himself as a rank 4. However, the Sanjiao Gate had indeed appeared out of thin air. It was as if it had been pulled into reality from another dimension. Villa 8. Fang Ping revealed the Sanjiao Gate, asking curiously, "Teacher, can I send people into the Sanjiao Gate?" Lu Fengra shook her head and said, "The Sanjiao Gate lies between reality and illusion. Although it has materialized, it does not actually exist in this space-time dimension. It's a very complicated concept. It was even more complicated than the existence of divine weapons. Although divine weapons exist in between reality and illusion, in reality, divine weapons can also be used as ordinary weapons. Moreover, Divine weapons are forged with materials that actually exist. It's just that they've been transformed by our mental power. Divine weapons can enter the Sanjiao Gate, and so can mental and vital energy, but other objects can't. Fang Ping thought for a while and said, as martial artists become stronger and stronger, the Sanjiao Gate will become clearer and clearer. Teacher, when one reaches the true peak, can the Sanjiao Gate materialize and appear in the real world? I don't think it's possible, right? Lu Fengru was not too sure. After thinking for a while, she said, if it appears, then there's a desperate realm powerhouse in existence now. It's impossible that no information has leaked out. If it materializes, where do these 3 doors lead to? Every martial artist, even ordinary people, might have the Sanjiao Gate. Then, with so many doors, do they lead to the same place, or do they lead to different directions? Besides, the Sanjiao Gate is still related to the human body itself. The empty zone that you see might be a zone that exists in your body. Lu Fengru spoke for a while, and finally said, don't think too much. Although martial arts cultivation requires you to understand what you're cultivating, the human body is indeed an incomparably huge treasure. It also hides many secrets. Sometimes, if you don't understand something, you can only put it aside for now. The research on the Sanjiao Gate had never stopped. It was the same for the research on the brain nucleus. However, after so many years of research, there was still no substantial progress. Today, although there were still organizations researching it, they did not pay much attention to it. That was because there were countless investments, but the returns were far away. The Sanjiao Gate and the brain nucleus were only possessed by martial artists above rank 6. These martial artists had a lot of things to do. They did not have so much time to waste and be researched by others. Fang Ping nodded. He still had some lingering thoughts. If I could let someone enter the Sanjiao Gate and find a powerhouse to help me push the door and seal it directly, that would be awesome. It was difficult for him to move it himself, but if a powerhouse could enter, would it not seal it in an instant? At the thought of this, Fang Ping's eyes suddenly lit up. He said, Instructor, previously Wang Jinyang used his celestial bridge to smash someone else's Sanjiao Gate. This means that the celestial bridge can actually enter the Sanjiao Gate. Why don't you use your celestial bridge and stuff it into my Sanjiao Gate and help me push it? Lu Fengru said impatiently, Don't always have sudden ideas. Do you want your Sanjiao Gate to explode? Our vitality is different. Our energy attributes are also different. Under such circumstances, once my celestial bridge comes into contact with yours, it will only cause a big explosion. Fang Ping's eyes really lit up this time. He said immediately, What you mean is that as long as our attributes are the same, no, I mean as long as our vitality force roots are the same, your celestial bridge can enter my Sanjiao Gate. Fang Ping suddenly shook his head, mumbling, Yes, I have to try using my celestial bridge first. Use my celestial bridge and stuff it into the door to see if it can help me push the door open. If it works, Fang Ping's heart suddenly thumped violently. If it worked, what did it mean? It meant that he could get someone to help him quickly close the door. No, those who were of a higher rank than him would not work. At most, they would be rank 6 martial artists. Even so, the strength of many people would still be much stronger than him alone. Moreover, he could also help others change their aura. You help me, I help you. Perhaps they could all quickly pass this rank 6 hurdle. Can it? If it works in the future, the path of a rank 6 martial artist will be very fast. If it really works, then the function of the system upgrade this time will really be a God-level function. But this matter needs to be discussed. I can't tell normal people. Old Wang and Iron Head, can I tell them? Fang Ping was a little uncertain. If this matter was spread out, it would really be a big deal. being able to help each other to close the Sanjiao Gate together almost subverted the martial arts cultivation path. It was even more subversive than Old Man Li's 10,000 Dao unification. Lu Fengru saw Fang Ping mumbling to himself and could not help but frown. Don't mess around. Fang Ping, your own celestial bridge can indeed enter the Sanjiao Gate, but the power originates from one body. The vitality force that you produce is supplied by the celestial bridge. Therefore, it's the same whether you use the celestial bridge or not. Moreover, although they are all one body, you have to be careful of colliding with each other and causing irreversible injuries. Understood. Understood. Fang Ping nodded. This matter indeed needed to be discussed. However, with this idea in his mind, Fang Ping really felt a little restless. If he gathered the strength of many people and closed the door, the time would be shortened a lot, right? It would take a few years for one person. What about 2 people? What about 3 people? What about more people? There was strength in numbers. One person might move 1 millimeter at a time. 3 people might be able to move 10 millimeters, not 3 millimeters. If I really gather the strength of many people, maybe I can close the door in 3 to 5 months. Once the Sanjiao Gate is closed, my vitality and vitality will merge in an instant. When my mentality appears again, I can achieve rank 7 in an instant. If my mentality is nurtured for a period of time, I can even achieve rank 8. Or should I take the path of 10,000 Dao unification? No, I don't want to die so quickly. I have the system. My mentality will increase very quickly. I don't have to learn from Old Man Li. At this moment, Fang Ping's thoughts were full of thoughts. He was considering whether Wang Jinyang and the rest were trustworthy. It did not matter if Fang Ping told them about normal things. Just based on the fact that Old Wang risked his life to save him last time, Fang Ping really had nothing to hide. However, this kind of thing, Fang Ping's eyes flickered. He mumbled in his heart, "Actually, I'm not afraid of telling them now. Instead, I'm worried about them after they've revived." Fang Ping knew what his concerns were. If Old Wang and the rest were not powerhouses who had revived, he probably would not have too many concerns. What was scary was that if these people were really powerhouses who had revived and recovered their past memories, then it would be hard to say. Today, Fang Ping still trusted people like Wang Jinyang and Li Hansong quite a lot. Qin Fengqing, this fellow, his celestial bridge has also mutated. It's quite powerful. However, this idiot, I'm worried that his celestial bridge will enter my Sanjiao Gate and rob me. Fang Ping complained in his heart. Seriously, he believed that Qin Fengqing would do it. Once this fellow's celestial bridge entered, he would put on a posture of mutual destruction. The probability of him robbing him was not low. Should I give it a try or not? Fang Ping was hesitant. This matter was indeed a little difficult for him. The temptation of accelerated cultivation made him tempted. Not only would his cultivation speed up, but everyone would also help each other. After achieving rank 6, they could all speed up. If he achieved rank 7 one step earlier, he could even invite some rank 7 powerhouses to help them after they achieved rank 6. For example, Lu Fengru or Old Man Li. Right, what rank was Old Man Li? Fang Ping felt a little dizzy. To be honest, it was really difficult for him to clearly say what rank Old Man Li was. Rank 7 or rank 8? Fang Ping. Lu Fengru shouted, frowning slightly. What are you thinking about? Fang Ping came back to his senses, suppressed the restlessness in his heart, and smiled. Instructor, I'm thinking about Tianan's catacombs. It's none of your business. You're not allowed to go this time. Lu Fengru frowned. When the catacombs open this time, there will be a large-scale battle between high ranks. Although you've stepped into rank 6, you're still a little short. Right now, Tiannan has already started making evacuation arrangements. When the catacombs really open, except for high-ranked martial artists, those below high ranks will not stay. This time, Tiannan was also prepared for people to rush out. Now, Tiannan had already started a large-scale evacuation. The announcement to the public was that Grandmaster powerhouses felt the fluctuations of the earthquake, and an earthquake might break out soon. 2 years ago, Tiannan did an evacuation once. After that, there was indeed a large-scale earthquake. This time, when the government announced it, the people were very cooperative. After all, in their eyes, Grandmaster powerhouses were omnipotent. They could fly in the sky and burrow into the ground. If there was an earthquake, there was an 80 to 90% chance of it happening. No one was willing to joke around with their own lives. Fang Ping smiled. Of course, I won't be so stupid as to rush over and fight with high ranks right away. I'm thinking of waiting for things to calm down a little before I go. Seeing that Lu Fengru wanted to say more, Fang Ping said softly, "This time, I'm not going for resources. I'm returning a favor. I owe Wang Jinyang a big favor. During the battle on New Year's Eve, he, an early stage rank 5, helped me block a peak rank 6 martial artist. Instructor, martial artists know how to repay favors. I promised him to go to Tiannan to look for his instructor. Since I promised, I won't go back on my word. That's why I must go to Tiannan." Lu Fengru frowned slightly. After a while, she said, "That'll have to wait for the catacombs to calm down. Also, the probability of Zhang Qingnan's survival is extremely low or almost impossible. It's not a few days. It's almost 2 years since the last time it was closed. For such a long time, even rank 7 martial artists would find it hard to survive." Speaking of this, Lu Fengru thought of her father. Her father had disappeared for 2 years. Was he still alive? Without thinking too much about this, Lu Fengru continued, "This time, Wang Jinyang going to the catacombs is mainly for comfort. If you really want to go down, don't make finding him your first goal. The key is to protect your own life." "Understood." Fang Ping nodded and said immediately, "Oh, right, from MCM Thu this time. Who's going over? Are you going?" "Yes, Wu Quishan and Lion Tang will go with me." As she said that, Lu Fengru humphed. "Li Changsheng still wants to go. Does that old thing think he's not dying fast enough?" Fang Ping said softly, "Instructor Li, if you unleash your full power in a battle, will you lose a lot of your vitality?" Lu Fengru's expression was solemn. She nodded and said, "Let's put it this way. Although we don't know how long a rank 8 martial artist can live, according to our speculation, rank 8 martial artists have a general idea of how long they can live. I don't dare to say much more, but 300 years is not enough to kill them. Right now, Li Changsheng's vitality is depleting more than 30 times faster than the average rank 8. Once he fights, his vitality is depleting at least 100 times or even 1,000 times faster than the average rank 8. After a battle, he might lose decades of vitality. If he really fought with all his might 8 to 10 times, he might age prematurely and face death. Is there no way to stop this vitality depleting? No. At least, we don't know yet. After all, the myriad Dao unification is only recorded in the ancient books. It's not clear. However, what Wu Quishan said before was right. Life essence can replenish this kind of depleting." As she said that, Lu Fengru looked at Fang Ping and said, "I'm not telling you to steal the life essence. I'm telling you, don't go. If you get your hands on the life essence, putting your own safety aside, with this, Li Changsheng will have nothing to worry about. That old thing can't wait to kill a few rank 8s to show his existence. Giving it to him would be a waste. Can Instructor Li really kill rank 8s? Yes. Lu Fengru paused and said softly, absolutely. These few days he's adapting. His vitality is very strong. Back then, he swallowed too much life essence. His vitality force skyrocketed. It's comparable to a peak rank 8's vitality force, close to the 100,000 mark. When he said that he could go all out and explode 10,000 celestiality, that was a bluff. However, if he goes all out, there's still hope for him to explode 2 to 3,000 celestiality. Wu Quishan holds a quasi-rank 9 divine weapon. His explosiveness might not be comparable to his. Wu Quishan killed some rank 8 martial artists. As long as the other party did not have a divine weapon and did not hone many skulls, killing them would be very easy. If he can do it, then Li Changshan can too. If Instructor Li has a divine weapon, can he nurture it? If you give him a rank 9 divine weapon longsword, will he become more powerful? Lu Fengru said again. He can use a divine weapon. Right now, his body is the Sanjiao Gate. He uses his body to nurture the sword. However, it's best not to give him a divine weapon. The more power he unleashes, the faster his vitality depleting. If you really give him a rank 9 divine weapon, he will dare to find a rank 9 to fight. When that time comes, even if he kills the other party, he will also die of exhaustion. Fang Ping's pupils constricted. He whispered, Instructor Li has a rank 9 divine weapon. Can he really kill a rank 9? It depends on the other party's strength. I'm talking about the weakest rank, 9. They don't have a divine weapon, and their strength is average. If he holds a rank 9 divine weapon, the probability of him killing the other party is not low. So powerful. Fang Ping took a deep breath. 10,000 Dao unification had directly made Old Man Li the first among rank 8 martial artists. One had to know that Wu Quishan was ranked second among rank 8 martial artists in the world. Even he might not be able to kill a weak rank 9. Defeating him was a possibility. Lu Fengru said impatiently, exchanging one's vitality for combat power is powerful. But what's the use of this kind of consumable item, no matter how powerful it is? It's a waste to give it to him. But as Lu Fengru said that, she sighed softly. This is actually a trick that only geniuses have. People like us can't do it even if we want to. Otherwise, if it were to be popularized, a bunch of old grandmasters might be eager to exchange their vitality for combat power. 10,000 Dao unification could not be popularized. If that was not the case, those grandmasters who died earlier would have done it long ago. These grandmasters had a clear memory of 10,000 Dao unification, which was only recorded in a few words in the ancient books. Actually, there were rank 8 old grandmasters who had tried it before. Unfortunately, it did not work. 10,000 Dao unification could only be carried out at the stage where mentality had just materialized. Fang Ping suspected that even he could not do it. His mentality might materialize in advance, but his golden body might not reach the standard. After chatting with Lu Fengru for a while, Fang Ping walked out of villa number 8. When he walked out of the villa, Fang Ping thought of the matter of sealing the door together again. Should I say it or not? I'm so conflicted. Fang Ping sighed. Maybe he could try it out with Old Wang first. Chapter 483. After leaving the villa, Fang Ping called Old Wang. In the end, before they could talk about sealing the door, Old Wang said that he was going into seclusion to achieve upper stage rank 5. He would probably not come out until the catacombs opened. With that, Fang Ping gave up on the idea of talking about this for now. Currently, even if they could work together to seal the door, it would only benefit Fang Ping. Since old Wang was going into closed-door cultivation to break through to upper stage, rank 5, Fang Ping could not bring this up again. Ever since his instructor had fallen into the catacombs 2 years ago, Wang Jinyang had been thinking about it. Now that the catacombs were about to open, he wanted to increase his strength too. Naturally, Fang Ping could not mention helping him anymore. However, Fang Ping was still very surprised that old Wang had achieved upper stage rank 5 so quickly. Upper stage rank 5 required the reconstruction of more than 200 meridians in the entire body. Even if it was 1 per day, it would still take more than half a year. Wang Jinyang had returned to NMAU after the new year and had broken through to middle stage rank 5. It had not even been 2 months since then, and he was already preparing to break through to upper stage. He wasn't like Li Hansong, who directly attained half a golden body in 1 day. However, Fang Ping usually did not ask too much about matters related to cultivation. Everyone had their own secrets, and it wasn't a good thing to ask too much. However, he could roughly guess what was going on. It was nothing more than self-mutilation to revive the indestructible substance and reconstruct his meridians time and time again in order to speed up the process. He did not think about sealing the door anymore. Since he was going to the Tian'an catacombs for the first time, he should start making preparations. Information was the most basic. Fang Ping collected a lot of information from MCMAU, the military department, Polaris City, Tian'an Martial Arts University, Tian'an House of Governors, and various other places. He began to search for detailed information about the Tian'an catacombs. The information provided by the military department was the most detailed. However, Fang Ping had asked Qin Fengqing to keep in touch with Fatty Jiang Chao in Star Town, so he had obtained some information that was relatively confidential. In the middle of April, Wu Quishan and the other 2 were the first to leave for Tian'an. They had been recruited by the military this time and were not considered independent martial artists. They still had to listen to the military's battle plans. After the 3 of them left, Lu Polu also went down to the Magic City catacombs. When the Tian'an catacombs opened, he still had to prevent the other catacombs from taking the opportunity to cause trouble. Huang Jing began to oversee MCMAU just in case. Among the grandmasters, only Old Man Li was free and could move around as he pleased. However, Huang Jing was keeping a close eye on this old man, forbidding him from entering the catacombs. Library. In late April, Qin Fengqing officially entered middle stage rank 5. Right now, he was researching information about the catacombs in Tian'an with Fang Ping. The Tian'an catacombs are among the 23 catacombs in Sino Nation. They're not that strong. They have 11 cities in total, 2 less than the Magic City catacombs. Moreover, the strength of Tian'an's catacomb cities, relatively speaking, they're slightly weaker than Magic City's catacombs. As for the geographical distribution, it's more or less the same. The original Tian'an city was also at the edge of the southern Forbidden Sea. The catacombs are in the north, and there are other cities on the east and west sides. Furthermore, there are some forbidden areas for demonic beasts and demonic plants. At the end, it's probably the domain of both sides. At this moment, Qin Fengqing was drawing. One had to admit that this guy was really good at drawing. As he spoke, a simplified map of the Tian'an catacombs was quickly presented before Fang Ping. Fang Ping also had a map with him. This map was provided by the military department. Qin Fengqing insisted on hand-drawing it himself to deepen his impression. This fellow was much more familiar with maps than Fang Ping. As Qin Fengqing drew, he said in a low voice, "There are 2 domains, one in the east and one in the west." I asked Fatty Jiang. The Tian'an catacombs should be the 11 southern territories. If the division of small territories is done in a regular order, then one of the 2 domains leads to the 10 southern territories, and the other leads to the 12 southern territories. Fong Ping glanced at him and frowned slightly. Are you really going to the domain of the domain? I can't go to the cities. I can't hide my aura. I can't go to the forbidden areas either. The monsters are too strong. As for the other places, I don't know if there are good things there. There's no one in the domain of the domain. According to Fatty Jiang, the average person can't enter the domain of the domain. If there are good things there, there should be more domain of the domain. Taking advantage of this war, I'll sneak over and take a look. Whether there are benefits or not, I'll know once I take a look. Fong Ping tapped the table lightly. There are forbidden areas on both the east and west sides, similar to Magic City's catacombs. It's extremely dangerous to cross them. If you really want to go, the most convenient way is to walk along the Forbidden Coast on both sides. But the Forbidden Sea is also extremely dangerous, even more dangerous than the cities. At this point, Fong Ping shook his head. We'll see. The main purpose of me going in this time is to help Wang Jinyang find his instructor. Even if he's really dead, I hope to find his remains. When the catacombs martial artists fight with us, most of the time, they collect the spoils of war, kill people, and bury them on the spot. Let's see if we can find him. The catacombs, martial artists, and humans have been fighting for so many years. Everyone has a set of rules. Under normal circumstances, when the enemy dies in battle, someone will collect the corpse, even if it's a mutilated corpse. However, Zhang Qingnen did not manage to evacuate during the Great Evacuation. If he really died, no one would collect his corpse. Therefore, the probability of him being buried is higher. As he said that, Fong Ping stretched out his hand and drew a line on the map. Tiannan City faces Rose City in the northwest. The distance between the two is 170 miles. The area in between is relatively large. If we want to find someone, we'll search in this area. The probability of finding him is the highest. Qin Fengqing raised his head. Are you sure that he's dead? If he was not dead, naturally, he would not stay here forever. Fong Ping sighed softly. What do you think? I think he's dead too. A rank 5 martial artist who stayed in the catacombs for 2 years. He's not me, Qin Fengqing. Fong Ping could not be bothered with him. He thought for a while and said, back then, the Yang family's old ancestor died while crossing territories. Which territory did he want to cross? Probably to 10 southern territories, as Qin Fengqing said that. He added 7 southern territories, Magic City catacombs, 8 southern territories, Donglin catacombs, 9 southern territories, Nanjiang catacombs, 10 southern territories, North Lake catacombs. I heard that 2 years ago, North Lake catacombs was in turmoil. Pudgy Jiang doesn't know the details, but if the Paragon old ancestor wants to cross territories, he should go to 10 southern territories. The 12 southern territories are West Sea catacombs. West Sea catacombs have not been very active these years. Fong Ping exhaled. I asked, is this the first time he crossed territories? Logically speaking, he's been in charge for so many years. He should have crossed territories before, right? Why did he fail this time? Qin Fengqing shook his head. I don't know about that. Other than those Paragon old ancestor, not many people know about these things. Fong Ping did not ask further. He continued to look at the map. Not only the map, but also some introductions of the strength of some cities, some special treasures of Tiannan catacombs, and so on. Although he did not enter the catacombs for resources this time, if he could get some, it would be good. After looking at it for a while, Fong Ping said, I'll prepare some things these 2 days. I'll leave for Tiannan on the 25th. Qin Fengqing, it's your freedom to go wherever you want, but I still have to remind you that your life is your own. There are many catacombs. If you really want to enter the catacombs, Tianen is not the best choice. I know. It's up to you. I'll leave first. Fang Ping did not say much. It was Qin Fengqing's freedom to go wherever he wanted. If he really died, he could not blame anyone else. The night of April 24th. In the dormitory, Fang Ping was packing his things when Chen Yunxi knocked on the door and entered the room. After helping Fang Ping tidy up the room quietly, Chen Yunxi bit her lip and said suddenly, "Fang Ping, I want to go back to South Capital." Fang Ping looked at her and asked doubtfully, "Go back to see your parents?" No. I want to go back to South Capital for a while. I might not go back to MCMAU for a few months. Chen Yunxi took a deep breath and said, "Before Grandpa went to Tianen, he called me and said that he left something for me to improve my strength. He left it at South Capital Martial Arts University. When I go back this time, I'll take the things first. Then I want to go to South Capital Catacombs to train. In MCMU, it'll be very difficult for me to have a chance to train, including the Magic City Catacombs. Nowadays, people like us don't have many opportunities to show off. The situation at South Capital Catacombs is not as bad as here. High-ranked martial artists rarely fight. Middle and low-ranked martial artists have more opportunities." Fang Ping tidied up the documents on the table and said, "Yunxi, don't put so much pressure on yourself. You're different from us. What we have, you might not have. Whether it's me or Li Han-song and the others, we're all different from you, I know, but I also know that hard work will reap rewards." Chen Yunxi bit her lip. After a moment of silence, she continued, "Senior Qin's talent isn't good, but he still entered middle stage rank 5 quickly. Although he can't compare to you, he's not far behind. My talent is much better than Senior Qin's, and I have Grandpa's support. I've been left behind because I haven't worked hard enough." Martial artists who were close to being thrice honed, although martial artists who had been thrice honed when they reached the 3 middle ranks, other than the advantages of vitality and physique, their cultivation was no different from others. However, the number of bone honing times was actually the strength of one's talent. The stronger one's talent, the higher the efficiency of energy absorption and conversion. Honing a few times was not just a matter of the degree of bone honing in the 3 lower ranks, Xie Lei and Chen Yunxi, compared to people like Qin Fengqing. If they ate the same pill, Xie Lei could convert 80% for his own use. Chen Yunxi could convert at least 70%. As for Qin Fengqing, he could only convert about 50%. This was the difference in talent. Of course, modern martial artists did not place too much emphasis on talent. A higher efficiency of absorption and conversion did not mean that one's achievements were higher than others. Many grandmasters were actually only once-honed martial artists. Many twice-honed martial artists were also stuck in the 3 lower ranks for the rest of their lives. Fang Ping put away the information, looked at her for a while, and said again, "You've also reached middle stage rank 4 now. Martial artists at this stage are not defenseless children. If I were a rank 9 paragon, I would definitely say don't go because I can protect you. It's not bad for you to be a vitality martial artist. It doesn't matter if you're weaker. But I'm only rank 6. I can't make these promises and guarantees. If you want to go, then go. Protect yourself." As he said that, Fang Ping turned around and went back to his room. After a while, he took out a bag and handed it to her, saying, "There are some energy stones and 300 honing fruits in here. I can't use them now. The 100 honing fruits have been completely used up. I don't know if it's enough for you to cultivate to peak rank 4. Also, there's a little life essence. If you're injured, use it sparingly. Just use pills normally. Go to the logistics department and get more pills. You don't have to rely on your grandfather. After all, he's in charge of South Capital Martial Arts University. You're not the only descendant of the Chen family. Deduct credits from me. I have a lot of credits, anyway. As Fong Ping said that, he smiled and said, "Don't reject it." Chen Yunshi said weakly, "I didn't reject it." Fong Ping choked for a while. He laughed and said, "You're quite straightforward. Fine, let's do it this way. Also, get a set of rank 6 armor and wear it." Grandfather prepared a set of rank 7 monster armor for me, Chen Yunshi added in a low voice. Fong Ping was speechless again. He said with some anger and embarrassment, "Next time, don't interrupt when I'm talking. I'm talking nicely. I'm showing off my manliness. But your grandfather prepared a rank 7 monster armor for you. What's so great about that? You think I don't have it? All right, Fong Ping didn't have it. However, his half-golden body was not necessarily weaker than a rank 7 monster armor. A rank 8-1 was more like it. Armor made from the skin of a rank 8 golden body monster was still very useful to him. Unfortunately, MCMEU didn't have it. The old vice-chancellor had killed one before. However, the leather armor was exchanged for materials to forge a divine weapon. Normal items could not be exchanged for these precious materials. In the end, Wu Quishan's divine weapon was obtained. Those fellows in Star Town did have it. However, Fong Ping had taken 5 of their divine weapons. If he took their armor, it would be hard to explain. Thinking about it, Fong Ping said arrogantly, "Your grandfather only prepared a rank 7 armor. In a few days, I'll give you a set of rank 8 armor. The one your grandfather prepared. It's not a problem even if it's lost." Chen Yunshi's face broke into a bright smile. She nodded quickly. After a moment of hesitation, she said in a low voice, "Rank 7 armor is also very valuable. It's not good to lose it, right?" Fong Ping was speechless. "I'm just saying. You can really lose it. Moreover, I'm just saying a rank 8 armor. If you have it, you won't buy it. If you don't, you won't be able to buy it. Unless I kill it myself, or MCMAU kills it. In MCMAU, only Wu Quishan and Old Man Li had this ability. Old Man Li was not in a position to do it. Whether Wu Quishan could kill a rank 8 monster or not depended on luck. Fong Ping did not say anything more. Chen Yunshi did not continue either. After helping Fong Ping tidy up the house, Chen Yunshi left Fong Ping's dormitory and returned to her own. She packed her luggage and prepared to return to South Capital overnight. On the dormitory's balcony, looking at the slightly thin figure downstairs, Fong Ping's heart was filled with mixed feelings. In this era, female martial artists did not just have to take care of their husbands and children. At Chen Yunshi's level, she would also pursue her own martial path, carry out her own missions, and search for her own opportunities. This time, he was the one who saw Chen Yunshi off. Would she be safe in the South Capital catacombs? Would she be in danger? Fong Ping did not know. At this moment, Fong Ping suddenly understood how Chen Yunshi felt when she saw him off again and again. In the dim light, Chen Yunshi's figure gradually faded away. The entire dormitory area fell silent. More and more people left the school to search for their own opportunities in martial arts. Since Magic City's catacombs were sealed, many people had left the school to go to the catacombs in various places to participate in their own battles. Ciele had left. He had left for a long time. Since the beginning of this semester, Fong Ping had not seen him much. Senior Liang Fenghua, Yi Qing, Liang Huabao, and the others had also gone their separate ways to the catacombs in various places. They had not returned yet. Zhao Lei and Fu Changding had also entered rank for a few days ago and left together. Fang Ping had not seen young Xiaoman for a long time. He did not know if she was in closed-door cultivation or had gone to the catacombs. Zhao Xueme, who had always been so determined that she did not seem like a woman, also carried an alloy staff 2 days ago and did not look back. When she left, Fang Ping did not send her off. Instead, he watched her leave from the balcony, just like today. The martial artists of this era. At this moment, Fang Ping suddenly did not know how to describe it. Were the martial artists of this era sad? Maybe also happy. How many people left and never returned? And how many people in this era shone brilliantly? Compared to the martial artists of hundreds and thousands of years, they shone even more brilliantly. There was no martial artist of any era that could be compared to the modern era. Chapter 484, 25th of April, Tian'an International Airport. When Fang Ping walked out of the airport with a Changdao at his waist, dressed in martial arts attire, the surroundings erupted in an instant. That's Fang Ping. Magic City Martial Arts University's Fang Ping, the #1 in martial arts universities, a rank 6 powerhouse. He's so young, so handsome. The airport staff, including some passengers, exclaimed when they saw Fang Ping. Fang Ping smiled and nodded slightly at the crowd around him. Behind him, Qin Fengqing was a little jealous. Motherf *Ker, showing off again. Was this bastard here to enter the catacombs or to pretend to be 13? The distance between Magic City and Tian'an was not short. It was tiring for martial artists to fly. Driving would take a day and a night. Taking a plane was naturally the most convenient choice. Fang Ping had just caused a commotion when someone exclaimed again, "That's Wang Jinyang!" So cool. Why are these people in Tian'an? I heard there were earthquakes around Mount Qingmang recently. Don't tell me evil sect martial artists are coming? Look, that looks like CCMAU's Li Hansong. It's really him. He's here too. The exclamations came one after another. The arrival of a few prodigy martial artists caused the entire airport to be in an uproar. Qin Fengqing mourned silently. No one recognized him. Qin Fengqing. How sad. Even if he shaved his head bald, no one noticed him. It was even sadder. Fang Ping did not have time to care about him. He turned his head and glanced at Wang Jinyang and Li Hansong, who were walking from afar. Everyone had agreed to arrive together today. The flight time was about the same, so it was not surprising that they appeared at the airport together. After a while, Wang Jinyang walked over. He was not in a hurry to speak. When Li Hansong arrived, Wang Jinyang said, "Why are you here?" Li Hansong grinned. "We're brothers. Your instructor is our instructor. Of course, we'll help you find it." Wang Jinyang chuckled. "It's very dangerous." "It's okay. We're brothers in this life. Moreover, Li Hansong, am not weak." Li Hansong looked confident. Fang Ping glanced at him and laughed suddenly. "Iron Head, you're almost rank 6, right?" Li Hansong grinned. "You can tell? Just a little bit more. I've already located the location of the Sanjiao Gate. Now, all that's left is to materialize it. Compared to before, I'm even stronger now. I can see it." His bones seemed to have recovered a little. "Great eyesight." Li Hansong grinned. After a while, he seemed to notice Qin Fengqing and asked in surprise, "Why is he here?" Qin Fengqing's face was extremely dark. "Did you just see me? I'm standing right here, and you just noticed me? Did you just notice me when I was bald and shiny? Why am I here? Why is this guy here?" These fellows had obviously left him behind when they were talking. They had only seen each other a few times, and they were already brothers for the rest of their lives. When did these fellows wear the same pair of pants? Qin Fengqing could not understand. Qin Fengqing did not utter a word. Fang Ping laughed and said, "Ignore him. Let's go. We still have to take a bus to get to Qingmong Mountain. They've evacuated already, right?" The entrance to Tiannan's catacombs was in the vicinity of Mount Qingmong. It was unrealistic to evacuate the entire province. However, this time, Tiannan still stirred up a huge commotion. All personnel in the 2 cities and 1 county near Qingmong Mountain had been evacuated. This was also a huge project. Now, people could only leave Qingmong Mountain but not enter. However, martial artists like Fang Ping would not be a problem if they went over. Although middle-ranked martial artists were not recruited, if middle-ranked martial artists really wanted to go, they could stay as long as they followed the arrangements. As expected, Wang Jinyang and Li Hansong did not bother with Qin Fengqing anymore. Wang Jinyang said as he walked, "The ordinary people have already evacuated. Some martial artists are still maintaining order. The opening will probably happen in these 2 or 3 days." Fang Ping nodded slightly. After thinking for a while, he suddenly asked, "Right, does that child bride of yours know that you're here?" Wang Jinyang's expression stiffened instantly. He turned his head to look at Fang Ping. After a while, he said, "This mouth of yours, sometimes I really want to tear it apart." Qin Fengqing grinned and said, "Tear it apart? What kind of ability is all talk and no action?" Wang Jinyang ignored him and continued walking. He opened his mouth and said, "Is he following us? He's weaker. He'll drag us down." Qin Fengqing was a little annoyed. He gritted his teeth and said, "Don't I have a name? I'm standing right next to you." What do you mean?" After saying that, Qin Fengqing said proudly, "I'm also middle stage rank 5, the same rank as you. Why are you so proud?" Fang Ping glanced at him and sighed. "You don't even have this little bit of insight. You think you're middle stage rank 5? Brother Wang is already upper stage rank 5. He'll probably reach peak soon. I see that his flesh is already a little golden. Rank 5? Upper stage?" Qin Fengqing's expression was livid. He had fallen behind again. The gap had widened again. Every time he thought that everyone had closed the gap, he realized that he was overthinking. This time, in order to achieve middle stage rank 5, he signed a 100-year contract to sell himself. In the end, Wang Jinyang had actually reached upper stage rank 5. Qin Fengqing's heart was filled with grief. He suppressed his bitterness and said, "Where's Yao Changjun?" Before Fang Ping could speak, Li Hansong said, "Old Yao's mentality seems to be materializing soon. He's still in closed-door cultivation this time, so he didn't come. But once this guy's mentality materializes, Fang Ping might not be stronger than him." As he said that, Li Hansong said with some envy, "I thought I was strong enough. Golden bones are so good. But now I realize that mentality is still awesome. He's only rank 5, and he's about to materialize." He's about to materialize? Fang Ping was also slightly surprised. It was indeed very fast. Actually, these guys' progress was quite fast. After the last Grandmaster banquet, they had not made this much progress. As they were talking, they had already arrived outside the airport. When they arrived outside the airport, it caused another commotion. For ordinary people, it was still a rare sight for a few prodigy martial artists to appear at the same time. Fang Ping and the others did not interact with these people. They looked around. Fang Ping nodded toward the distance and walked in that direction, smiling. "My high school classmates. You know them, right, Brother Wang? Yang Jian and Lu Ruoqi." Wang Jinyang's memory was not bad. He remembered these two and frowned slightly. "They haven't evacuated yet. Tian'an Martial Arts University was not far from Qingmang Mountain. It was also within the evacuation range. Although they were martial arts university students, their abilities were too weak. There was not much use in staying. Both of them were peak rank 1 martial artists. Their sophomore year had not ended. It was not bad for a normal martial arts university to reach this stage. However, at this moment, they were indeed a little weak. Fang Ping explained, I asked earlier, Tian'an Martial Arts University students are now maintaining order around Qingmang Mountain. They will probably only evacuate at the end. I asked them to pick me up. I don't want to fly there. Wang Jinyang did not say anything else. Qin Fengqing curled his lips and said, Your classmate is only rank 1, and you're already rank 6. There's no justice in this world. This was a normal person. Okay, peak rank 1 sophomores. This was the norm. Fang Ping could be a rank 2 or 3, but he was a rank 6. There was no justice in this world. They boarded the car very quickly. Yang Jian was still a little excited when he saw Wang Jinyang, Li Hansong, and the others. Even when he saw Qin Fengqing, he greeted him excitedly, Hello, Senior Qin. This time, Qin Fengqing felt much better. See, I'm not really a nobody. There are still people who know me. Qin Fengqing could not find a sense of presence in front of Fang Ping and the others, so he sat in the passenger seat and chatted with Yang Jian. Fang Ping ignored them. He glanced at Lu Ruoqi and chuckled. Ruoqi is getting prettier and prettier. Yang Jian, that idiot, hasn't he taken you yet? Lu Ruoqi smiled and said nothing. Yang Jian, who was driving, laughed and said, I can't. Ruoqi has high standards. Many seniors from Tian'an Martial Arts University are also pursuing Ruoqi, but none of them have succeeded. Qin Fengqing heard that and said disapprovingly, It's all because you guys are spoiling her. She's a woman, after all. Female martial artists are asking for a beating. Look at me, then look at Fang Ping. After beating those women into submission, they came to us voluntarily. Big guy, I see that you're not small, but you're not brave enough. If you want to pursue her, then beat her up. As soon as he said that, the car fell into silence. Wang Jinyang closed his eyes and did not listen. Li Hansong was also speechless. Could this idiot really find a girlfriend? Yang Jian laughed awkwardly, not knowing how to respond. Lu Ruoqi was not embarrassed. She took the opportunity to change the topic. Fang Ping, you guys coming here this time has something to do with the lockdown of Greenmang Mountain? Yes. The catacombs? Lu Ruoqi asked suddenly. Fang Ping turned his head to look at her and smiled. You know about it? Lu Ruoqi nodded slightly. I know a little, but not much. The school didn't tell us officially, but some rank 2 martial artists know about it. When more people know about it, it can't be hidden anymore. We're all in the same school. Plus, the school is evacuating recently. Many grandmasters have come to Green Mang Mountain. When we're maintaining order, we've also interacted with some people from the military department. I know a little in general. Can you tell me in detail? In the front seat, Yang Jian continued, Is the catacombs really dangerous? Yes, at least for you guys. It's extremely dangerous. Fang Ping said a few simple sentences. In the end, both Yang Jian and Lu Ruoqi fell silent. After a while, Yang Jian suddenly smiled sheepishly and said, Tian'an Martial Arts University is on holiday this time. Jihao and the others invited us to go to Nanjiang Martial Arts University together. I heard that Nanjiang also has a catacomb that's opened. Jihao said that it's just opened. Fang Ping, can we go in? I heard that you're very close to the governor of Nanjiang. Fang Ping could not help but laugh. Both of you, Nanjiang's deputy governor is here. Why are you asking me? As soon as he said that, Yang Jian was instantly embarrassed. He had forgotten. Wang Jinyang seemed to be the deputy governor of Nanjiang. Wang Jinyang opened his eyes and smiled faintly. Rank 1 is still too dangerous. However, Nanjiang is building a new city recently, so there aren't many battles. You guys can go to the new city to help out and understand the catacombs. You don't have to leave the city. At this point, Fang Ping thought of something and asked, has the new city in the Nanjiang catacombs been named yet? Did you use the names of the cities I suggested last time? Wang Jinyang did not reply. He was too lazy to reply. How could this be? Using your name to name the city, Fang Ping really dared to say that. Everyone chatted and laughed along the way, so they did not feel too nervous. Yang Jian and Wang Jinyang were a little nervous, but when they saw them talking and laughing, they were not so nervous anymore. These few days, the atmosphere at Green Mang Mountain was very tense. The people from the military department and martial arts universities were all nervous. Even they were nervous. After seeing these guys, Yang Jian suddenly felt that these people's reputations in martial arts universities did not come out of thin air. They did not look nervous at all. Just as Fang Ping and the others arrived at a small town at the foot of Green Mang Mountain. Inside Green Mang Mountain, in a huge valley, at this moment, the valley had already become a huge military base. In a meeting room in the military base, Nan Yunyue suddenly said, Vice Chancellor Wu, why are those two brats here again? They're everywhere. When Nan Yunyue said this, she was a little speechless. She had just come out from Magic City Catacombs. As the number 1 person below the absolute peak, it was necessary for her to be here when the Tian'an Catacombs opened. However, she did not expect that the moment she arrived, those two MCMU brats would come right after. As soon as Nan Yunyue said this, someone in the crowd laughed and said, Chief Nan, who's here? Nan Yunyue's strength was extremely powerful. Everyone was quite interested in the people she paid attention to. Nan Yunyue said lightly, Fang Ping, Qin Fengqing. As soon as she said this, some people were surprised. Someone laughed and said, These two brats? Vice Chancellor Wu, what are these two brats doing here? Don't tell me they want to stage a scene in Tian'an and direct the catacombs' internal strife? Get them out of here as soon as possible. This isn't their battlefield. Other than some people from the military department who are responsible for staying behind and forbidding others from entering the quarantine area, everyone else should evacuate. Yeah, it's useless for them to come now. It's better to leave them for a few more years. Right now, everyone present was a grandmaster powerhouse. However, speaking of these young people, they were not impatient. These people were the current generation's prodigies, the hope of the future. No one wished for these people to die here prematurely. Wu Quishan chuckled and said, Don't worry about them. We do our thing, and they do theirs. This time in Tian'an, they can do whatever they want. Anyway, Tian'an is destined to erupt into an all-out war. If they have the ability, then they can turn Tian'an upside down. Vice Chancellor Wu, aren't you afraid that these two will die here? Everyone has their own fate. They're all rank 5 and 6 martial artists. We can't really be their babysitter. Not to mention, Wu Quishan said and laughed. Not to mention, instead of letting them run wild in other catacombs, it's better to leave them here. No matter how much trouble they cause, we don't have to be afraid. If they really go to other catacombs and cause a big commotion while we're here, then it'll be troublesome. As soon as he said this, Nan Yunyue suddenly said, That's true. Don't worry about them. What old Wu said made too much sense. Tian'an was now the main battlefront. Even if these few fellows really caused a big commotion here, it would not matter. In other places, It was mainly to delay. If they caused a commotion, then it would be troublesome. Someone laughed and said, "From what you guys are saying, these few fellows can really cause some commotion." It's hard to say. Everyone discussed animatedly. After a while, Nan Yunyue returned to the main topic. She said with a serious expression, "The passageway will open in these 2 days." As expected, on the other side of the passageway, there are many powerhouses gathered in the Tian'an catacombs. The moment the passageway opens, we'll enter and defeat the other party. The first task is not to kill the enemy, but to chase the other party out of the passageway and not allow them to enter the ground to fight. Everyone, this battle we will not retreat. Understood. Everyone responded. Nan Yunyue nodded slightly and looked around, looking at everyone one by one. In her heart, she sighed softly. Once she gave the order, not retreat, then there was no room for discussion. No matter how dangerous the situation was, retreat was not allowed. The meeting ended quickly. These past few days, such meetings had actually been held many times. What was said now was just a cliché. The meeting ended. Tang Feng and the others walked out of the conference room. As they walked, Tang Feng said helplessly, "These few brats messed around blindly. Zhang Qingnan is probably already dead. NMU didn't even stop them. Isn't this nonsense?" Wu Quishan shook his head and said, "They can't stop them. Who from NMU will stop them? Don't worry too much. These few brats won't die so easily. Besides, we went in first and attracted attention. They'll be relatively safer. There's no need to worry too much." As he said that, Wu Quishan glanced at Liu Mo and the others not far away and said in a low voice, "Instead, this group of people from Star Town, I'm afraid they have other motives." Lu Fengru saw that Wu Quishan had activated the mentality barrier and said casually, "To find the body of the fallen apex." Wu Quishan was a little surprised. Lu Fengru said lightly, "Feng Ping said it. The people from Star Town said it themselves." Among the group from last time, there was a little fatty with a big mouth. Some of Star Town's secrets were revealed. Wu Quishan was a little speechless and did not know whether to laugh or cry. He said helplessly, "This group of people from Star Town thought it was a secret, so it was already leaked long ago." Laughing aside, Wu Quishan thought for a while and said, "Logically speaking, when a Paragon powerhouse has fallen, it's reasonable to find his body. However, if a Paragon has fallen, it must be extremely dangerous. To put it more realistically, he's already dead. Is it worth risking the lives of so many rank 7 and 8 martial artists? There's even a rank 9 leading the team. If these people also fall, it'll be a huge loss." Lu Fengru swept a glance over there and said in a low voice, "There should be a reason. Maybe the corpse of a Paragon powerhouse is related to something. Maybe it's related to the secrets of a Paragon powerhouse. Maybe a new Paragon can be born if the corpse is found. What do you think?" Wu Quishan nodded slightly. This was possible. For so many years, the only Paragon who had truly walked out from the outside world was Minister Zhang. Perhaps there was a reason why it was so difficult for a Paragon to be born. Nowadays, there were actually quite a number of rank 9 powerhouses. There were dozens in Sino Nation and hundreds in the world. However, in the past 100 years, the number of Paragons who were born could be counted on one hand. Desperate straits, Wu Quishan murmured. This realm was too far away from them. He would not think about it for now. As for Star Town, there was no need to care. Let them be. Feng Ping and the others who had just arrived at the town at the foot of the mountain did not know that they had already been noticed. The town was now under military control. The ordinary people had all evacuated. Only some people from the military department and martial arts university students were patrolling. Fong Ping and the others showed their martial arts licenses. No one made things difficult for them. These people were the living signboards of martial arts universities. Most people knew them. After walking for a while, Fong Ping looked at Yang Jian and Lu Ruoqi and said, "You guys should leave early. You don't have to accompany us. We'll go up the mountain in the afternoon." "All right, be careful." The two of them did not say much. The martial arts universities had indeed started to evacuate today. They were only rank 1 martial artists, so they were also included in the evacuation. After watching the two of them leave, Fong Ping smiled and said, "I'll go see the MCMAU instructor later. Everyone, do as you please. We'll enter when the passageway is cleared." The few of them nodded. Wang Jinyang glanced at the green glow mountains, his gaze slightly complicated. Ever since he left Tian'an 2 years ago, he had not been back. That day, he said that he would open the passageway and rescue his instructor when he became a grandmaster. Now, 2 years had passed, but grandmaster was nowhere in sight. He had to wait until the passageway's seal automatically dispersed. You're tuning in to the Mystic Fist YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.